Thank you kindly for joining up for this here charity stream. All your donations will go to supporting live animals in the communities that surround these wild lands. Now, I'm going to take this hat off, sit down, and we're going to read some damn creepypastas. Even you please. Alright, that was a bit weird, but I hope it was a good intro. Alright. Is that good, hopefully? I winged that. That was a bit, haha, but I hope you, liked it. Must save lions. Well, even if you don't donate, it's just you being here, and occasionally I'll put ads on to bolster up the donations a bit. So that's fine, don't you worry. Just thank you so much for turning up and coming to watch. Holy guacamole, we got 44 viewers already. That is a humdinger of a number. I should probably stop. Alright. So I have a number of stories to be reading today, but if people donate, I will, well, as long as it's good, it's decent material and nothing a bit risque, as we say. Hold on, just making sure I have my tabs up. Good. Move this over here so I can see the chat. I have two screens now, which is great. I got it for just such an occasion. Sorry, my own little lion wants out. This little lion. Panther will like it. Yeah, so if people donate and want specific things read or done during the streameroni, I'll consider them. Most likely, if it's a really, God, it sounds, I'll consider it. It makes me sound a bit demanding. Basically, if you send me something that's a bit too long, I don't think I'll be able to read that. Plus, there's the chances of me making mistakes, which do happen quite a lot. What was I going to say? What else? There are other restrictions. Yeah, nothing too risque. This is YouTube, so if I even mention a booby, I might get shut down. I don't know. The accent I currently have is, I don't know what my accent is. People say it's somewhere between British and American. Who says that? I say that because people say I sound American in the UK, and then Americans know I'm British, so it's weird. Call it transatlantic English. Cats are more ferocious than lions. Cats kill for fun. You're the best narrator, Scott. Thank you. You're right. Kidding. The Dark Reindeer and the Shadow Reader. Are they others? I thought there was a story. Sorry, my cat wants back in. Come on, stay in. Oh, be careful. Right, we need to get to reading some stories. You guys have seen my butt multiple times. Such a... Sorry, I'm looking at the review. Okay. Short story, A Statement from Randolph Carter. I will consider these. I can hear both American and British, that's cool. Personally like dogs. I love all animals, and that's why I do these charity streams, to support animals, their environment, and their local ecosystems, which kind of comes with the environment. Good, we're growing. Alright, whilst we're at 85, calm down a bit. And I should start reading the first story. But before I do that, I want to ask you guys, can you hear my fish tank filter that is situated not too far from the microphone? Also, Nesota, she wants to be on. The Thing from 1982. If you're talking about the movie, yes, that was a very good movie. Our first donation. Thank you very much. Don't scroll up. Don't scroll up. Thank you very much. Rival Darkness 1. Here you are, my friend. Love your narrations. Save the lions. Also, I hope you're having a wonderful holiday season. It's going good. It's going good. I've got all my presents, I think. Some people are just getting money in a card, because some people are just impossible to buy for. Okay. Some people say, no fish tank. Can't hear it a little bit, but not a lot. Okay. That is the first time. I think, actually, I can do something to help with the fish tank problem, and it might help me focus a bit better. Won't it, Sooty? Yeah. Good girl. Oh my god, we're almost out of 100 people. That's fantastic. Right. Which one's the filter? This one. Well, it's not even a filter. It's a sponge filter. And it's not really for fish. So one fish and some shrimp, but I'm a zoologist. Trust me, they will be fine for days if I leave them like that. Actually, forever, because they have plenty of plants. But I will not leave them forever. I will just turn the filter off for whilst this stream's going on. It shall be fine. Hello, Robert from Poland. Hello, everybody. So, right, okay. I'm getting distracted here. A bit overhyped and excited. I'm glad I was able to get like a pre-warning of this stream coming out right now. I wanted to do a build-up a few days in advance, but then I was thinking, when would be the best day? Maybe it's this day. Well, this type of exercise comes before this, so maybe I'll have more time then. And today worked out the best. So, right. Do I wear the terrible headset or not whilst I'm doing this? Okay. Right. Okay, let's see. This first story is by First Breath 1. He is an author that I get many of my recent stories from, and he is very, very talented. I will link the story in the chat if you want to go check it out and support the author, which you always must do, because 1, it makes me look fantastic, and 2, it's the right thing to do, because this is their material, and I would be nothing without them. Okay. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous, because me reading is a bit... reading a nice mic. What's wrong with my microphone? Is there a problem? Oh, you can see the microphone. Oh, thank you. Well, as I was saying, I get sidetracked when I'm a bit hyped. Right. Yeah, live reading is a bit tough for me, because I do get nervous and I do make a lot of mistakes, but I will do my best. Right. Okay. I have specific things, so you can actually enjoy. That's not it. There we go. A fireplace. Something nice and chill. Well, warm. And which... I'm trying to get some music going too. Why is that showing? Hey, that's Muji. That's like... Okay. That got rid of the picture. I didn't foresee this being a problem because I'm stupid. Do you want the fireplace there, or is it fine? Okay, I'll just imagine there's a fireplace. Be nice to Muji. Muji's awesome. He does a lot of the music I use. Okay, screw it. Let's just go with my weird headset, which is broken, and I refuse to get a new one because I love this one. Okay, I've been stalling for almost 10 minutes now. So, this story is called I Woke Up to Find a Man Standing in My Living Room by First Breath 1. Severe weather always wakes me up. There's no rhyme or reason to my irregularity. It doesn't matter if it's 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, or 4. As soon as I hear that crack of thunder, buckets of rain, or harsh wind against my door, I shoot up from my bed like a rocket, then run for the bathroom's cold tiled floor. I never understood it. To this day, I still do. The simplest explanation is that some people are just light sleepers. Some people can even be distracted if the street lights are too bright. It's a curse I have lived through for most of my life. But on the evening of August 24th, 2011, the summer storm and its circumstances had little to do with keeping me up at all at night. The routine certainly started the same. Lightning cracked and shattered to illuminate shadows outside that flooded my sleep-deprived mind. The dripping rain forced me out of bed and towards the bathroom. I rose and stumbled for the toilet, rubbing the sleep out of my crusted eyes, and tripping all over dirty clothes along the way. But I paused outside the entryway. A flash of white caught my attention. It looked as though someone could be standing in my living room. I live alone, and I never let people close enough in my life to come in and wake me up in the middle of the night. I launched myself into the bathroom, locked the door, and got dressed, quickly, quietly, and to my best ability. In my panic, I decided it was unwise to face an intruder unclothed. I know that sounds weird, but it's the truth. Some people don't react perfectly in these situations. I threw on some sweatpants and a t-shirt left over as remnants from the previous night's shower. In a stroke of luck, I found my cell still in the pocket. I exited the bathroom with my thumb pressed right next to the emergency number. A voice greeted me from the den immediately. "Good evening, Mr. Marks." He was a teenager. The boy could not have been more than 18 years old. Once my eyes adjusted, they found him wearing a red checkered flannel with a pair of blue faded jeans and torn around the edges. He had on a black tee underneath. His mop of blonde hair was tied together with an old red bandana. The whole ensemble looked like one of those retro outfits kids wear these days. He spoke in a voice teeming with pain and anger. "Where is she? Where are you keeping her? The fuck is Olivia?" I stared at the stranger stupidly. "What are you doing in my living room?" He moved so quickly, before I could even understand what had happened, the boy pressed a cold Colt 45 to my head and gestured towards me, or gestured towards the cat. Sorry, my cat. My other cat, I have two. Gestured towards the couch. Sit down, old man." He could not be much younger than me. The old man insult made about as much sense as the rest of it. "Where is Olivia?" As soon as the gun came out, my finger slammed the 911 button in my pocket. I cursed myself for not doing it sooner. I slammed speakerphone and turned down the volume deftly so my attacker could not hear the dispatch. He grabbed me by the shirt collar soon after and removed use of that arm. "I don't know what you're talking about. There is no Olivia or Mr. Marks here. You broke into my home in the middle of the goddamn night to ask me about people I don't know. I need you to leave. I need you to leave right fucking now." The cool metal of the pistol hit my face so hard I saw stars. "Stop lying," the man hissed. "Do you think I wouldn't do it?" The man cocked his gun and dug the barrel deeper into my forehead. I thought about dying. I thought about never being able to say goodbye to my mum or my dad or my brother. I closed my eyes and waited expectantly for the madman to end it all. But he didn't. "Where is Olivia? I know she's here." My mind ran circles around itself. I did not know any Olivias, and I knew absolutely no one with the name Mark. In fact, the last person I met named Olivia was in 4th grade. She lived in Tampa. I was pretty sure we were not talking about the same one. We love each other, sir. You can't fucking stop that. Why would you want to stop that? I'm going to make her the happiest girl in the world. That's all I want in life. Don't you get it? There is nothing in this life more important to me than Olivia. There is nothing I would not do. He pulled the gun away from me. Sir, I need you to bring her here. Right fucking now. Suddenly a rush of footsteps filled my apartment. That was soon followed by the pounding of fists against the spare room. It was impossible. There was nobody inside when I went to bed. I lived on the 13th floor. I felt my shirt get slick with sweat. After a few more solid smacks, a beautiful blonde crashed down my spare bedroom and pushed past me. When she saw my intruder, she shouted out, "James!" and rushed to his outstretched arms. I looked ahead at them kissing in a dumbfounded stupidity. I wondered whether I lost my mind. I wondered whether this could still be a dream. I pinched myself just to make sure. It wasn't. You lied to me, James said in a voice that seemed void of sympathy. I knew it. I knew the cops were wrong about you. You're just a little fucking freak who gets off on this, aren't you, Mr. Marks? They moved closer. I felt sweat bubble on my forehead. I felt my muscles tighten and contract involuntarily. It had to be a mistake. Or a prank, or somebody put the girl in my bedroom to fuck with me. Maybe these two were friends with my friends. This could all just be a prank. Just a prank, bro. I believed that right up until James pushed the Colt to my forehead one final time. If the police won't kill you, Mr. Marks, you're gonna keep stealing girls. You just can't help it, can you? It's in your nature. It's embedded like an instinct. You're just one of those filthy little carrion maggots. You feed off anything that makes people happy. Well, if the police won't kill you, maybe I should. Maybe I should just fucking do it. It would be doing all of us a favour, right? James lifted the gun over his head and aimed it at my chest. He spread his feet perfectly. I closed my eyes and again waited to die at the hands of a raving lunatic who did not even know my name. I had to tell him. Maybe if he heard my name, he would understand the mistake. Please, I whispered. My name is... The gunfire encroached my final words. I fell to the floor like a sack of bricks, and the lights went out. I woke up to a different man standing in my living room. He had a bag of ammonia or something in his hand. The stench filled my nostrils so suddenly I turned to the right and vomited on sight. The man chortled so much his big belly shook slightly. Back with us, eh? I nodded and looked down at my chest. I expected to see a giant hole or blood leaking down in waves, but my plain grey football tee stared back at me as innocently as the day I bought it. I quickly patted my body all over. I was looking for the bullet, of course, but the EMT did not know that. He turned and whispered into his radio in a thick New York accent that lacked the ability to stay discreet. Sorry beforehand. I looked at the wrong point. Yeah, sorry beforehand when I do this. We're gonna need to get the psych down here. I stood myself up and looked around the apartment. The EMT was not the only one inside. The woman in gloves and a camera pursued the contents of my spare room. A detective opened and closed the shattered front door. I approached the latter and asked what the fuck was going on. The name tag on the man's shirt read Diaz. He was middle-aged, probably close to retirement. His grey hair had come in patches and started to recede towards the top. Detective Diaz looked like he had just saw a ghost. Son, we came as soon as we We came as soon as we heard the gunshot in your cell. Where is he? Where the fuck is James? That sick fuck could have killed me. He was right here in front of me, officer. Right here. I don't know how the bullet missed. Diaz stared awkwardly. He looked confused. He looked like he wanted to give me a better answer than the one he had, but he couldn't. Look, son, there's no bullet here. He looked over me carefully, hoping for a response. When he got none, he continued, a quieter tone. There's no bullet. There's no James, there's no Olivia. We heard you call, but none of that is here. This entire place looks completely ordinary, save for these 2 broken doors, which you could have done yourself, technically. I moved to protest, but Detective Diaz raised his hand. I'm not saying you did. He sighed. In a minute, I'm going to sound crazier than you, kid. You see, I've been to this apartment before. Sorry, one sec. My cat is being very annoying and wanting out of the room. Go on, run. He's disturbing the lion people. Okay, where was I? Been to this apartment before. I started to think back on my landlord. Nobody told me that. Okay. When? He continued in an even voice that sounded tough to keep still. 1969. Diaz looked nervously at his colleagues and pulled me into a corridor of my kitchen where he thought no one could hear. His dark eyes seemed timid, serious, and scared. We were chasing this serial abductor. Killer too, rapist, sadist, pretty much whatever it is you can come up with. A real sick fuck, to say the least. He paused. We didn't have enough on him. You know, son, sometimes police need a mountain of evidence if they're gonna drag somebody down to the station and actually charge him. You only get one shot at a trial. We can't fuck it up. The realization started to dawn on me. What happened to them? Tears started to fill his eyes. We told the victims' families that we had a suspect. One of my rookies let slip the name. The victim's husband naturally marched to his apartment to confront the guy at that night. He didn't tell anyone what he was doing. He played the whole thing real cool. James. Diaz nodded and continued. James found Olivia in the apartment. We thought maybe he tried to sneak her out before it happened. But maybe not. Hard to say for sure, given the bloodbath we found. I tried to ask a question, he ignored it. Timothy Marks woke up in the middle of the night. Maybe it was the storm. Maybe he heard Olivia pounding on the door. Maybe he heard James come inside. It's hard to say. The detective coughed before he spilled the last part of the story like a confession. Timothy kept the shotgun underneath his bed. He exited the bedroom at approximately 2 a.m. Where he found James and Olivia on the way out. He killed them. Shot them both in cold blood in the entryway. They died instantly. Then he packed up his gun, the Colt, and turned it up. He picked up the Colt and turned it on himself. He looked back towards the splintered door. He looked at the officers photographing the scene and to my shaking frame right in front of him. He sighed again. He seemed to be doing that a lot. He seemed to be reliving the pain he felt for so many years. James and Olivia thought you were him. I guess what I'm trying to say, son, is the two intruders you met last night, tonight, they died in this apartment. Right here. 40 years ago. I know because I investigated it. He gestured towards the living room. That's the end of that particular story. That was a good one, but I made so many mistakes, I put myself out of it a bit. Good story, though. Good story. Alright, so let's see what we've done so far. We have the 10 from Mr. Rival Darkness. Thank you, Rival Darkness. You're great. Now I'll read the chat for a little bit and then go to the next story. It reminds me of Tom Myson, Sleepy Hollow, or his younger brother. I don't know who that is. Love the video, bro. Holy monkey balls, a live stream. Yes, it is. Oh, am I lagging a bit? Let me know if I'm lagging. Because I just saw myself jump around like... welcome, sis. Thank you very much, Ben Arnold. You're making the lions very happy. And this lion very happy. Not just me. Very happy. Actually, I should probably give an explanation. Why is it choppy? If it's Steam, I swear to God, I'm going to kick Gabe Newell's ass. It's not Steam. Turned it off. Right, okay. I know this looks weird, and just making sure my movements are steady in the replay. It seems okay for now, so let's hope in the future we get a better quality. Yeah, there's no drops in frames apparently for right now. Thank you very much, Willpower. That's awesome. Is Vampires off Vampirate? I really don't like vampires. But if it's a good story and it's not too long, and it depends. Really depends. And I'm trying to save requested stories for donations. I don't want to sound stingy, but this is to raise money for the animals. In fact, as I was saying, I'll tell you more about the charity. Now, this charity, just going to get this up so I can see myself. Take the headset off whilst I'm not reading. Do I even need it on in general? I don't think I do. Okay, so this charity, this lovely charity, is the Safina Wildlife. I always say Wildlife Trust because I always talk about the Wildlife Trust. Safina Lion Conservation Fund. Now, I will read a carbon copy of their leaflet because they can do it more justice than I can. Hey, I'm reading stuff for you guys, so. We have been a registered charity since the 24th of April 2017. Our two charitable objectives focus on the conservation and protection of lions and to educate the public about lion and wildlife conservation. Thank you very much, R. Carter. Love ya. We are inspired by zoo lions and we believe that zoo lions are very important. They are. We are proud to work with zoos and... got a smudge on here. And believe that they are the ideal place to get people to learn whilst they visit about... That doesn't seem like very good. Visit about the threats facing wild lions. We believe that by accepting and working with zoos, we can focus on the really important matter of protecting lions in the wild. We work with zoos to hold educational events to spread awareness and raise funds for our wildlife lion conservation efforts. I put wildlife in there because I'm an idiot. Thank you very much, Abby Susu. Oh my goodness. Got to take care of the king. That's true. In a little second, I'll talk to you about trophic cascades. Since I'm a zoology, I am a zoology, guys. I am a zoology. I can explain that in some detail, but because my head's small, brain small, sometimes I make a mistake. Okay, this is what they do. We raise funds for lion conservation efforts. In our first year, we have already supported lion guardians. Their approach involves recruiting young traditionalist Maasai and other pastoralist warriors to learn. I needed to learn that word. Pastoralist warriors to learn the skills needed to effectively mitigate conflict between people and wildlife, monitor lion populations, and help their own communities live with lions. So far, we are proud to sponsor one of these warriors by donating the money needed for their yearly salary. So, I went to one of their nights with the Zoology Society, and they talked about it in detail in slideshow and whatnot. And when they're talking about what lion guardians, basically this is a Maasai warrior that is being paid by the charity to look after and monitor the well-being of the lions in the area. So effectively, not just helping the lions themselves, but also him and the community he lives within. Because unfortunately, there are a lot of negative views in Africa towards these animals, seeing them as pests. Because if you're living in this type of environment, and you survive off your cattle and your land, you need to get your cattle grass to graze and water to drink. Any predator that's going to put that in danger is putting your livelihood in danger. So you can kind of understand that. So unfortunately, these people will occasionally put down poison to kill the lions, which is very easy and cheap to get. So this organization helps educate the people on how to protect their animals, protect themselves, and prevent, what's the word I want to use? Just prevent the unnecessary slaughter of lions and killing of these great, massive, beautiful beasts. Lions are cool. But yeah, I could tell you more, but there is more information in the description, which will do it more justice than I can because I am terrible at explaining things. Another thing is, there are only around, if I remember correctly, 20,000 wild lions left in the world. 20,000. Sounds like a big number, but it's really not. In fact, can I get up? Did I close that page? I always close pages. I'll get it up again just to show you. In fact, lions used to be so abundant, their range stretched up out of Africa into Europe. And it's crazy how much it's changed over the years. Is this what I want? Have I done it? Am I stupid? Probably. What the hell is this? Oh yeah, I wanted a fireplace. Whoopsie. Fireplace gift loop. Very, very good, Scott. Very good. Fire is gone. Oh, come on. I'm sorry. I'm so bad at this. Where's the picture? Where's the picture? Where's the picture? Image. There we go. Browse. Why aren't you where I put you? I hate machines. There we go. This was the... Well, I want to say the... How do I put this? There is one main species of lion, and that's Panthera leo. And there's a few subspecies of that, like the Asiatic lion and so on and so forth, which has now been thought to be the same as the northern African lions. But regardless, the blue areas, that's where they are currently distributed compared to where they were in the past. Now, this picture may seem strange and a bit confusing, but let me explain. The reason why this is so bad is that these little pockets of habitation by these lions, they're unable to breed with one another. So they have to, so their, how do I put this? Their genetic diversity in those groups is very low, leading to more inbreeding, which eventually inbreeding will cause these animals to die out. Like, you don't marry a sister and make babies because the babies are not very healthy. And it's the same principle here. These poor animals are just separated so far apart for the most part And it's just a generally bad time, you know? You know what I'm saying? Just don't. There's another bonus to these great animals as well, and I'll show you that. I swear the browser add. Is it window? Window capture, yes. I'm super smart, by the way. Window capture, which one? Okay. This one. Why is it not coming up? Why is it? Oh, yeah, because image. Remove, yes. Remove. Okay, what? Oh. Why is it not coming up? Machine? Okay, screw it. What if I do this? Yeah, look at this. Yeah, so not only are lions just great in general, they just protected the rhinos. Yep. They ate poachers. That's always great. Obviously, loss of life is never a great thing, only when it's necessary in nature, but anyway, let me look at these donations, then I'll get on to the next story. Oh my goodness, the donations are rolling in. Thank you so much. Okay, last one I acknowledged was Miss Abby Susu. Thank you again. Harry Moss, thank you very much for the €5. Laura, my lovely sister, thank you for the £10. Ira, bruv, we love lying in our fam squad. Yes, we do. Weird Ultimate. Or Weird Unlimited. See, I read for a living, so you'd think I'd be good at reading. Thank you for the $10. Loving listening to your stories on long car rides. I saw someone post a video on Instagram with the hashtag Nature's Temper. You can go to my Instagram, follow that, and post more things. Whatever. Yeah, it was cool. Dan Gonzalez, $5. This one will donate to his fellow okay. This one will donate to his fellow Khajiit. I have wares. If you have the coin, Ed boy. I don't know why I would say that. Did I miss anyone out? Love you, narration, willpower. Harry Moss, good stories. Hope this helps. It does help. Thank you very much, Harry. Okay, right. Let me scroll back up so I can see the chat whilst I'm doing this. Cheers to Ocean's Fury, by the way. Yes, if you don't know, I have a very good friend, Curtis. He has a channel called Ocean's Fury Unleashed, and he does all sorts of little videos. Why are they little? Does all sorts of videos, including the amateur edutainment that I do with him. I haven't seen him in a while because he's gone to do his masters down south, and I live up north. The north is great. God, I am just so bad at talking on camera. But yes, we've recorded some stuff together of us catching fish and talking about wildlife, and it's cool. And he has things on there that I haven't uploaded yet because I am terrible at timekeeping. All right. Yes, we bicycle. Phantom, no. Marcus, no. No. Sorry, please ignore Marcus and Phantoms in the chat. Please. Okay. Who would like to hear a ritual pastime? I quite like those ones. Okay. Dark reflection ritual. Here's what you'll need for this ritual. A mirror of any type, a candle of any size or colour, friends to do it with, optional but highly suggested. I should probably warn you, once you begin this ritual, there is no way to stop it. What I'm saying is, don't start it unless you're planning to finish it. Have you ever broken a mirror by accident or on purpose? Have you ever looked in a mirror and felt like there was something watching you from the other side, or seen something sinister lurking within the eyes of your own reflection? You probably heard the legend that breaking a mirror is 7 years bad luck. 7-year legends about mirrors have been around for hundreds of years. In particular, some ancient civilizations believed that there was a sort of purifying effect to mirrors. They believed that by looking on one's reflection in the eyes, it would transfer a person's negative energy into the reflection in the mirror. They believed that this had a cleansing effect, but also hidden dangers. That's why breaking a mirror has been known to cause bad luck. Think about it. If it's true, then every time you look into a mirror, you are transferring negative energy into it. Can you imagine just how much negative energy is in there, sitting inside your bathroom mirror? When you break the mirror, then negative energy is released and causes bad luck for everyone around it. For this ritual to work, you need a mirror that you don't mind breaking. According to the manifesto, both the risk and the eventual reward to this ritual are stronger depending on how old the mirror is. It makes sense if you think about it. The older the mirror, the more it's been looked into, and therefore has more negative energy inside it. In order to begin the ritual, you must look your own reflection in the eyes, transferring your negative energy into the mirror one last time. You only need to do this for a few seconds. Then, you need to lean forward and breathe onto the mirror, making it fog up with your breath. My sources refer to this as anointing the mirror with your breath. Anointing the mirror with your breath. At first, you might find this strange, but do a little digging and I think you'll find the word breath once meant something similar to spirit. By breathing on the mirror, you are symbolically linking yourself to the mirror and to the negative effect contained inside. This linking is critical to the success of the ritual. Everyone in the group needs to do this step as well before moving on to the next one. After this is complete, you can light the candle. Use the candle to burn the mirror. This agitates the negative energy inside. You only need to do this for a few seconds, or until there is a notable black mark on the mirror. Note that the longer you do this for, the more agitated the negative energy will become. After this, the final step is breaking the mirror. Once this step is done, I suggest you start running. You see, it's actually a common misconception that when a person breaks a mirror, they'll be followed by bad luck. This is not true. When a mirror is broken, the bad energy stays in one spot near the broken mirror until eventually it dissipates. Or, at least, normally it does. If you completed the above steps, then you have tied yourself to the negative energies through the medium of your breath. This means that the negative energy will pursue you wherever you go. This is why I said earlier that it would be the best to complete this ritual within a group. If there is only one person doing this ritual, then all the negative energy will pursue that one person. But if there is a group, then the negative energy will spread more thinly. This increases the odds of survival. Bad luck will follow you throughout the night. At first, it will start out as small incidents. A chipped nail or a flat tire. The incidents will begin to escalate, though, as increasingly horrific things begin to happen around you. Eventually, these incidents will become life-threatening, no matter how many people you did the ritual with. Like I said, don't start this ritual unless you're planning to finish it. The only piece of advice I can give you for surviving the night is to remember that the negative energy is linked to you through your breath. Your breath is how the negative energy affects you, and so, if you find yourself in a bad situation, try holding your breath. This should make you temporarily invisible to it. Of course, you can only hold your breath for so long. Still, this technically might provide you with a few extra seconds to get out of this dangerous situation. At this point, you are probably asking yourself, why on earth would anyone ever engage in this ritual? Why would anyone ever risk their life like this? Well, most people who tried this probably didn't think that it would actually work. But there is a reason beyond that. The bad luck will chase you throughout the night, but if you manage to survive until dawn, not only will you find yourself that your run of foul luck has ended, but a new streak of good luck is about to begin. The first lights of dawn have a special purifying property. If you survive until the morning, the negative energy inside the mirror will be purified and will re-enter your body, filling you to the brim with positive energy. Wow. After this, everything will seem to go your way. You'll find that people are generally nicer to you and that the opposite sex are extremely attracted to you, or the same sex, if that's what you're into. You will succeed at everything you do, whether it's getting a job, an important exam, or a business venture. I would highly suggest buying a lottery ticket. It should be noted that the amount and duration of your good luck will be equivalent to the amount of negative energy that was inside the mirror. If you just bought the mirror at the store, then the good luck will only last a couple of days and will not be all that severe. If you use an old mirror, then your lucky streak will be far more powerful, and it may last for months or even years. If you had an old enough mirror, if you use a mirror that has a more personal connection to you, such as a bathroom mirror or a mirror from your bedroom, then the fortune you experience will be more suited to your particular tastes and desires. One more thing I should probably warn you about is the timing of the ritual. The ritual needs to be started after sunset and with at least 6 hours until dawn. Two common tricks that people try in regards to this ritual are starting during the daytime and starting a few minutes before dawn. Starting near dawn is probably the least dangerous of these little cheats. If you start near the dawn, then the negative energy will not have enough time to fully manifest before being purified. The energy will simply dissipate into the air rather than doing anything to you, and you will probably walk away thinking this was all a gigantic hoax. Starting during the day is more dangerous. People starting during the day, they think that the daylight will instantly nuke the bad energy and keep them safe. This is not true. Notice that I said that the lights of dawn have the purifying power, not the light of day. By starting during the day, you have actually given the bad luck more time to pursue you and thus decrease your odds of survival significantly. You know, a lot of people might call you stupid or crazy for trying to attempt this ritual. I wouldn't, though. I can understand the thinking that goes into it. I can understand wanting to take control of your luck, both good and bad, rather than accepting the seemingly random twists and turns that life seems to throw at us. That was the Dark Reflection Ritual by Bishop Storm. Oh my goodness, what have we got here? I'm sorry I didn't read the chat because I try to focus on the story so I have less mistakes. This is the story. If you want to read it, there it is. Oh my goodness, we have some generous people in here. Code Red Gaming, thank you very much for the $5 Could we get a creepypasta Christmas story? If you got one, yeah, if you send one now, I'll do it because you donated. But I think I actually do. Yeah, actually I have one. Don't worry about it. I got one. It's called The 10th Day of Christmas. Kate Mawari, hopefully I said that right. Mawari. No, Mawariri. I'm so sorry. I'm bad at reading. Thank you for the $20. That's so much appreciated. And Hospice, thank you for the $50. You almost look like a lion. So majestic. Roar. I hope none of my friends are watching. Kind of ironic that you made the stream after the American Lion part. Yeah, you know what? That's completely unrelated. In fact, First Breath 1 wrote the story American Light. I believe he did. If I'm wrong, please let me know. Because I'm certain he wrote that. I swear he did. Yeah, I'm just going to take a drink. It's not a bad length story. I can probably... Yeah, I can fit more on a page if I do this. Pocket Oxford. Pocket Oxford is also a very, very talented author, so please check him out, and the next story will be done by him. Well, written by him. Narrated by myself. Juice! Hey, Ocean's Fury Unleashed, welcome, buddy. I heard his hair is insured for $50,000. Well, I don't like to brag, but it's not. Sam here? Is that the same Sam I know? If it is, hey. As a patron bonus, you should let your fans help narrate some of your stories where multiple voices are useful. Go juice. That's not a bad idea. I don't have a patron yet. People keep asking for one, but I never make one. Hi, Samwise Gamgee. Gamgee. What video do you like watching and what videos? I mainly watch Let's Plays. Yeah. I'm a basic bitch. Hi, Sam. You watching? You should be sleeping. It's a school night. Just kidding. Thank you very much for coming, Sam. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Videos I like watching. My favorite channel on YouTube is hentai. Boris. I think I know who Boris is. It's not hentai. No, I was just reading. Okay. Two best friends. The best friends Zaibatsu. Please look them up. They are great. They play video games, and I find their humor beautiful. They recently did a few... What's it called? God, burps are coming up like crazy. Playthroughs of the Devil May Cry series, and that was cool. Are you still accepting stories from viewers? I am, but it depends. They have to be... you know what? Oh my god, I'm so stupid. There have been a bunch of stories sent to one of my email addresses that I have just not had the time to sift through. I do apologize for that. There are quite a few really good ones in there. The ones I actually managed to read. When is the collab with you and Dr. Creepin happening? The dude is super busy. Like he actually has a teaching job, I believe. So that's got to be a pain in the ass to find time around, because like I've talked with a lot of teachers and it sounds like they don't have much free time. Can't say I know what it's like in regards to teaching, but yeah. Not to spoil anything, we are thinking of doing a collab. We've been in the talks. We're trying to get something together. If you bug him more, maybe he'll find that time. I don't know. But yeah, I'm super interested in getting a story done with him. He's a very talented guy. Probably has a better voice than me. Probably. Tracy Stewart, so glad you're still here. You're the reason I started listening to Creepypasta. Hey, thank you so much. I am subscribed to PewDiePie, Rainy Girl. Yes, I am. We have to defeat T-Series. Saying that stuff out loud seems so weird. Yeah, I actually found him unironically entertaining. Okay, shall we get to the next one? Uno momento, por favor. Oh, there's one more before I go to the next story. Automatron 10 gives $5. Love your work. You deserve more recognition. Please read some more of Lovecraft's shorter stories. They'd work great with your format. I'm considering that. I read the Hound recently, and that was very good. And I haven't finished the Call of Cthulhu, his most popular one. I think it's, no, Shadow over Innsmouth. I don't know, everyone loves Cthulhu, so I only did one chapter of that first one. It's a lot shorter than Shadow over Innsmouth, but it's still fairly long, so that's why I haven't done anything yet. But thank you, Automatron 10. Now, I will get to it. There must simply be a private creator on top. I agree, Ben. Okay. This one is exactly what the Doctor ordered. A Christmas Story by Pocket Oxford. On the 10th day of Christmas, it wasn't a bear. Moving to Serenity Falls, because I liked the name, seemed like a good idea at the time. But it really wasn't. Okay, there's an issue with the story. Now, I have no problem with a female protagonist, but I do not feel I can do it justice at all. What's your opinion? Right, this is a good opinion. I mean, this is a good time to ask you guys. I'm a male. As you can tell, I identify as a male. But when it comes to stories with female protagonists, I try to avoid them because I don't like trying to do an effeminate voice. Sorry if I'm stepping on any toes here. It's 21st century, so you can do whatever you want. But regardless, I do not feel like I do female characters justice. Get our Tony to do it on the phone. Yeah, narrate in your normal voice, I don't mind. So, there's one thing I do. When I have read a story, or I'm reading a story that has a female protagonist, I switch the genders. So, I'll be a male, and I'll talk about, I'll say if they have a partner, sorry. If they have a partner, I'll usually swap the gender around, I don't know why. There's nothing wrong with a gay character, so I'll just make them both dude. That'll be easy. I can do 2 dude voices. A female antagonist, and female antagonists off, preferably a female reader for those. Hearing talented, raspy men read lady voices does bother me, to be honest. Your choice. By the way, obligatory happy Krampusnacht. Krampusnacht. Krampusnight? I think Nacht is German for night. Tim Curry reading audiobook doing the female parts. Truly strange. Maybe switch the genders. It can be mildly distracting, but you're always so much fun. What the heck? It's a little jarring when an obviously husky-voiced man says, I'm a 24-year-old female girl. Female girl. I do agree with you. I vote just to do the 2 dude voices. Nothing wrong with gay characters in horror. I don't know what I'm saying. I can't read. Okay. These characters are now both male and gay, which kind of fits with the bear thing. Let's just get at it. I keep looking at this monitor when the camera's there. Right. It's almost been an hour and I've read 2 stories. The voice girl, it's funnier. Tony's in. I don't really want to hold up my phone, and it'll be terrible quality. But Tony, if you actually come into the house and read with me, that's fine. But anyway, to a middle-aged old Scotsman, I'm Billy Connolly, and I think I've got a throat problem. I'll get to it now. I'm sorry. Distraction happens a lot. I have Asperger's. That probably has nothing to do with it, but that's my excuse. Okay. Where was I? Okay. Big city man in a small town, living the good life. It was supposed to be a nice city. It was supposed to be nice. This lazy realtor from Pure Serenity Realty even promised me the town lived up to its name. But I can tell you for a fact that that's not true. Yesterday I had 2 small reasons. First, it was the curious case of the never-ending eggings. Never-ending eggs. I keep them, but I never seem to run out. They don't go bad either. I wasn't sure if I was just forgetful or slowly going crazy. But it was weird. The second issue, a bit more tangible, was the fucking bear that kept waking me up every night. And I don't mean my husband. 24 hours later, I only one issue. It does say I only one issue, that's not me fucking up. When I heard the bear in the backyard again last night, I was almost more excited than annoyed. It was the 26th time I'd heard the knocking over of the trash can. Yes, I'm keeping count. And the third time this week. I had been tired and cranky for too long, and this night would be the first step in my plan to make that bear back down. Or take that bear down. I threw the duvet to the side and winced as my warm feet hit the cold wooden floor of my bedroom. I felt around for my slippers, got them on my feet, and grabbed my camera. While I was more than willing to blast that fucker full of lead, I did not have a hunting license. Not was it bear hunting season. I was already a newcomer to the big city in a small town. Did not need to get in trouble for bear poaching. Calling the police had been fruitless. Sweetie, the condescending lady that answered the phone at the police station said, "It's winter, right? Didn't you learn that bears hibernate? In elementary school? Well, if you didn't, I'll tell you now for free. Bears hibernate." I tried to explain that there'd been bear paw prints in the light snow last week. Big paw prints. I don't know if you have raccoons, rats, or overactive Sorry, I'm fucking up a lot. I don't know if you have raccoons, rats, or an overactive imagination, but honey, that's not a bear. The other townsfolk weren't any more helpful. I chatted with some old farmer. Bud, Sid, I can't recall. And when I mentioned the bear problem and the unhelpful police, he looked at me like an idiot. First, that's no bear. It's winter, sweetheart. Second, if it is a bear, you gotta get yourself a gun and shoot that son of a bitch yourself. You're in Serenity Falls now. We handle our own problems. Thanks, Hoss. I'll tell the police that you said that when they arrest me. The next time the paw prints appeared, I took pictures. The police remained unimpressed. Those don't even look like real bear prints. Honestly, honey, it looks like someone tried to make bear prints. I don't know what your game is, but please don't bother us with this bear story again. We have our hands full of real crimes, okay? Missing people, people dead. We're stretched thin. And you come over here and try and stop us doing everything because you think a raccoon is a bear? Just keep your food out of the trash and on collection day... Keep your food out of the trash and on collection days like the rest of us. If you want attention, put on a short dress and head down to Willie's. We're here for real problems. This is going well. So the track looked funny, did they? A non-hibernating, trash without food attacking bear wasn't a real problem? Well, I was going to get a picture of that trash-stealing fucker. And I was going to take it to that smug police lady, and I was going to tell her what's what. Camera in hand, I slowly made my way out of the bedroom door. I tiptoed across the hall and down the stairs, sure that any sound I made would scare the bear off, and it had off like it had 2 nights ago when I tried this first. I inhaled sharply as the last stare groaned loudly, stopping for a moment to feel my heart beat like a drum. I couldn't hear anything from outside. Was it already too late? Without a sound, I made my way across the living room floor. My sofa was positioned right under the dark window that faced the backyard. The window was pitch black, but I knew what was outside. A short lawn fenced in by a low hedge, and beyond that, a field that gave way to dark woods. The woods where the goddamn bear lived, no doubt. I'd positioned the trash can in the middle of the lawn that day before, giving me a perfect vantage over where it had been last night. Luckily, it showed up again. As quietly as possible, I crawled onto the couch under the window that faced my backyard. I cupped my hands around my eyes and pressed my face to the window, hoping to catch the glimpse of the large predator that was attacking my trash viciously. I scanned the scene for a few seconds, before movement caught my eye. A few meters out of the blackness, something was bobbing around, rifling through my trash. I strained my eyes against the darkness. Was it really a bear? It was too large to be a raccoon, but it looked too small to be a bear, too. And the colour was off. A little too light. Could it be a mountain lion? I felt a chilly fear creep into me. The movements weren't graceful enough to be a feline, were they? For the first time, doubt crept into me. Honey, that's not a bear. Were they right? My heart pounded as I reached for the window hasp. I didn't want to remove the barrier between me and whatever was out there, but I couldn't have the glass between the camera flash and the creature. And I needed to know. The cold air hit my face, making my skin pucker in protest. I lifted the camera, pointed it in the general direction of the creature, sent a little prayer in the direction of a god who might give a shit, and pressed the button that illuminated the whole backyard. In the brief moment of light, I had seen a monster. Mostly furless, crouched in a strange position, head hidden by the trash. That thing was no bear. Years of atheism and skepticism went out the window. I had just seen a real, live werewolf. A shriek rang out in the night, and I fell backwards off the couch in panic. Light thuds that could only be made by paws hitting the ground rapidly rang through the silent night, and a shot of adrenaline pulled me to my feet and sent me running upstairs. I took the stairs 2 by 2, and in seconds I was in my bedroom. I slammed the door closed, leaning against it, and allowed myself to breathe again. An unmistakable, sharp crash sounded from downstairs, and my breath caught in my throat. I had left the window open. The thing was in my house. Whatever it was moved around downstairs. Desperation pushed me to search for a weapon, an escape, fight or flight. The stark minimalism of my bedroom screamed its uselessness at me. No clutter, nothing that could be fashioned into a weapon of any kind. No phone. Technology before a bed is bad. No defense between me and that monster downstairs but a flimsy wooden plank of a door. Can werewolves open doors? Do they keep their hands? The fear was clawing at my gut. My breathing labored. I bet they can knock one down either way. Another crash from downstairs brought one crystal clear thought up from the chaos of my mind that I began to fear. Am I going to die? I am going to die. The werewolf is going to eat me. Alive! Wait, no, it couldn't be a werewolf. That's insane. Damn, I should have gone to see a shrink about the egg situation before I spiraled into full hallucinations. But what had I seen? A mountain lion might appear furless when you expect a bear, right? A bear might be furless if it has mange. A mangy bear, unable to hibernate, starving. It fit with the odd behavior and the horrifying image etched in my brain. Briefly, I felt a relief, having found a rational explanation. But it soon gave way to a new tidal wave of fear. Whatever the hell that thing was downstairs, it was my demise. Hungry mountain lion, mangy bear, or straight-up werewolf. Did it matter? Either option would happily maul me to death. My searching eyes finally landed on a heavy wooden dresser that would hold off the mountain lion better than a flimsy door. I grabbed the closest end and pulled. It didn't budge. Tears filled my eyes, and I snuck around to the other side to push it. No luck. My cheeks were wet with tears or sweat, and as it did, a jarring scrape sound of wood against wood sent shivers down my spine. I froze, listening intently. No sound from downstairs. The monster had stopped too. It had heard me. It knew where I was. A soft thud, barely audible through the wooden floor, signaled movement. A third soft thud. The direction became painfully clear. The thing was walking towards the stairs. A familiar loud groan of wood from below meant it was on the bottom step. Thuds increased in frequency and volume, and I whimpered as they hit the top of the stairs and continued down the hall. Closer and closer they came until they stopped by my bedroom door. I held my breath in silence. A soft sound penetrated the wood. Not breathing? Panting? No, that wasn't it. Sniffing. The thing was smelling me through the door. It knew where I was. It was going to break down the door, rip me to shreds, and chew on the pieces. I fought back another whimper. A light scratching sound pierced the silence, and I jumped before steeling myself against the chair. I propped my legs against the bed and held with everything I had. The push never came. The thing scratched at the door one more time, sniffed loudly, before soft thuds disappeared down the hallway. The imminent danger lessened. I breathed a sigh of relief. It was still my house. I was nowhere near safe, but I was also not currently being mauled by a mangy were-lion. That was something. A loud clang from the bathroom, and I jumped, heart back in my throat again. What the hell was it doing? A few more loud noises from the bathroom, followed by a strange gurgling whine. Then the thing made its way down the hall again. It stopped outside my door and sniffed loudly again. I closed my eyes, sent a prayer in the general direction of a god I had long since stopped believing in, and waited. Seconds, minutes, or hours passed before it moved again. Thud, thud. It was moving away from the door. Thud, thud, thud. Then followed by the unmistakable diminuendo of the thuds that could only mean one thing. My neglected god had heard my prayers, and the monster obeyed by lazily walking back, descending the stairs, crossing the living room, and climbing back out the window. I sat there, waiting for it to bounce back up the stairs and fly through the thin plywood of my door. Only when the bright sun shone through my window did I finally get up. My legs were shaking. After making sure the house was empty, I went into the kitchen to make a cup of tea. And then I called the police again. Definitely raccoons, I was told in a condescending tone. You really need to accept that living this close to the woods involves some critters now and then. And stop bothering us with your silliness, she added before she hung up. Only then did I remember that I had a picture of the thing. That had been what incited the whole near-death experience. How could I have forgotten? I turned on the camera, pressed the button to see what I had taken a photo of. I frowned. The shape didn't resemble a bear, and not a mountain lion either. Definitely too big to be a raccoon. I zoomed in and almost dropped my camera when I realized what I was seeing. It wasn't a bear at all. The weird prints made total sense. I hadn't made them up to make them look like bear prints, but someone had. It was a man, crouched on all fours, naked except for furry boots and gloves that I could only assume made bear-like paw prints on the ground. He had his face buried in a pile of my trash. I felt sick as I realized what it meant. This man had been going through my trash for weeks. He had been in my house. He had scratched on my bedroom door knowing I was cowering behind it, and kept me trapped in here for hours. I felt violated. I walked my ass back up to Main Street to the police station and handed off the camera triumphantly. They took my statement and told me they'd look into it when they had time. With everything that has happened in the town recently, I'm worried it'll be a while until they had time. Back home again, I collapsed onto the sofa and turned on the TV. After a few hours of vegetating and rumbling stomach, my rumbling stomach reminded me that it was time for food. I opened the kitchen door. For a moment, I just stared at the gory scene before I raged violently. A half-plucked chicken, headless, lay on the table. The blood that had seeped out from its neck had congealed on the table, and one of the wings were half missing. In a daze, I walked closer to the gruesome sight and saw that the wing had been chewed off. I leaned closer. The bite marks were unmistakably human. On the other wing was a silky red bow, and under the bow had tucked a note. I reached out a shaking hand and pulled out some blood-smeared piece of paper. The short message was scribbled in a childlike handwriting. Your trash is my treasure. The one in the bathroom smells the best. I thought my little gifts were a good trade, but if you don't like eggs, how about you get a whole chicken? I only ate a little. I couldn't help myself. Please enjoy it. P.S. Don't be scared like the last girl. Bears can smell fear. And we don't like it. I stared at the chicken as the full gravity of the situation sank in. He had been coming into my house for weeks. The open window had nothing to do with anything. He had a way in. And God knows how many of his eggs I had eaten over the last month. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It was a man wearing... Well, it was a furry. It was a furry, yeah. That was an interesting story. I got excited when I thought it was a werewolf. Oh well. Okay. Let's see. I think... Oh. Okay, so... Did I read this one already? I read Automatrons, but I'm not sure if I read this one. Love your work, you deserve more recognition. More Lovecraft, $5. Yeah, I think I did. Anonymous donates... I'm sorry, is DKK Danish krona? Or am I stupid? Well, thank you very much, Anonymous. I really appreciate it. And Princess Gimwev, my sister Tony, hello. You Mum Gay, $10. I mean, £10. Thank you very much. Do I ever get phantom pain in my legs? No, I get real pain. Like that. Ignore this, man. This may be a wheeled chair, but I am not in a wheelchair. You weird... God, I don't get these people. They're friends of mine. The Marcus people. Marcus people, God. They're just spreading rumours about me being unable to walk for whatever reason. Sorry for the confusion of Krampusnacht. It's the total opposite of the Christmas he punishes. Yeah, I know who Krampus is. Oh, is that just his full name? Krampusnacht? I thought it was just Krampus. English speakers. Goodbye, Uncle. Alright. 3 stories down. Oh. Just because I believe in this cause so much, if you donate at least 10 of whatever currency you donate in, your native currency, unless it's like yen, which, come on. I'll do a Fortnite dance. I don't like the game, never played it, but I'll do stupid things to raise money for charity. Okay, there's your incentive, and I'll make sure you can see it. Howdy, Brady. Welcome. Oh, I needed that drink. Talking makes me thirsty. Just getting something. Oh god, yeah, Sam will love it, won't he? He'll love that Fortnite dance. Friends have sent me a message. Yep. Okay, close that. Do apologise. If Furry are like, we're gonna need more silver. I'm not going to sing Bitch Lasagna. For one, I don't know the song. For two, wouldn't that mean it's like, is that copyright? I don't know. But thanks, Tony. Thank you for the money. I'm not going to sing Bitch Lasagna. Not for £2. If it's £20 and you got a deal. I know you already it's £12 you've given so far. Someone else wants a song. I can't sing. I'm a bad singer. If I sing something, I don't even think I'm allowed to. If it's a copyrighted material, YouTube's going to be like, is that a cover? Nope, can't have that. Banned, boy. Copyright strike. Get off or fucking... Oh, I swore. Right, I'm going to get kicked off the internet now. Nathaniel Rowland. Yo, what up? Streaming, bruh. That's what I'm doing. I'm also checking something on YouTube to make sure it's working. Channel, slow internet. Community. Okay, come on, machine. I'm being called. Tony! Right, Tony, don't do this. Don't call whilst I'm on stream. Hi, Tony, please don't call whilst I'm on stream. Oh, I appreciate that, but it does, like, getting calls during this is a bit disruptive. Thank you very much. Alright, good night. Love you, bye. No calls. This is between me and the internet. Are you the guy who keeps stealing my Bitcoin? Do you accept stories from your listeners? If so, where do we submit them? I'm sorry, Tom. I sounded meaner than I meant to be. I love you very much. Anonymous donates 17. Subscribe to PewDiePie. I'm already subscribed to PewDiePie, as I already said. Yes, if there is a story that you want read tonight, and it's not too long or dirty or whatever, I'll read it here. You get $5 more in Gumave, and you can make him check if he can sing. Boris, no. Didn't do it, Captain. Right. In the meantime, if people are gonna try and make me sing, I'll try and ignore it by doing a story. Alright, I like this one. Yeah, it is Danish krona. I am so educated. Do it for Sam. I do. If I get like, I don't know. I have to do it. I have to do it for the Lions, and this is a good way to get more money for the Lions. If the next person who sends me any amount of money says yes, do the dance, I'll do it. And I'll do the simplest one ever, and I'll do it for only a few seconds because I can't dance, not even a Fortnite dance. For the animals. You can slap me all you want, it's not gonna hurt. Bitch. Right. More stories. I have cracked all my knuckles already. Oh, I guess not. This story is by Pocket Oxford. It is entitled, I'm a Nice Guy. Sorry, I guess before I do this story, yes, do the dance. Okay, Tony, you've done it. Fine. And also, Frost00237 has donated $2.79. I didn't know you could do it so specific. I don't have legs, yeah. No, okay. I'm not going to do it if you're going to record it, Boris. Ah, screw it. I'm already embarrassed enough on the internet. Oh no, I seem to have fallen down and I cannot get up. Oh no, legs! I do have them. Can I even turn it? Camera? Okay. Oh god, I hate myself so much. And I'm going to do this poorly because I've never... I can't do it. I really can't. It's demoralizing. It's okay for a kid to do this, but... It's like going up on a roller coaster. It's making me very nervous. I can't do it. Am I doing that? I don't even know anymore. Yeah, so, welcome to the stream. If you've just tuned in, I am being blackmailed because I like animals. And this gets them money to save their lives and ensure their future. There you go. I think I'm getting the hang of it. But I'm slow as fuck. There you go, fuck it. Oh, the camera. Oh my god. Now, don't let anyone tell you that there is no such thing as a selfless good deed, because that was very selfless. This is a new low, yes. Oh, it's my internet connection. Okay, seems to be smoothing out. That was adorable. Your idea of cute is very strange. He's been I have not been practicing. Right, so let's get back into it, huh? Why does it say my stream health is dying? Still plenty of people here, but I reckon that the internet's going shit. Yeah, it looks like the quality's gone down. Thank you, Arnold. Mr. Bain Arnold. Right, does my audio sound okay? Can y'all understand me? And yes, I'm going to keep doing this accent for a little bit, because I do like the practice, and I do like the sound of it. Yes, I did just do that. Ma'am. I look Australian. You know what? With the little tie, I kind of do, don't I? I forgot what I asked as a question. Is the audio quality alright? It's alright, yes? Put a thumbs up emoji in the chat, and then I'll continue. I don't think my Australian accent's very good. Maybe if I talk through my teeth. Nice butt, says do I pronounce that Chantal or Chantil? Chantil Anderson. Thank you very much. I work hard. I sure do. Right. I'll just keep with this because I like it. Picture's blurry. Yeah. Oh, the stream health's gotten better, so you should be seeing better quality very soon. Oh, Miss Abby Susu, thank you again for the good shot at flossing. Cute. Thank you very much, Abby. Keep the quality. Really, that bad? How? Why though? Why has the quality gotten so poor? Says it's fine on both ends. Streaming at that. Underrated saltwater crocodiles. I'll have you know that Steve Irwin is actually my greatest hero. Him and David Attenborough. Because, well, they've done great things for wildlife. And I hope that in my lifetime, I can live up to at least a fraction of what they are as people. Okay. Next story. We were going to read, and we will continue to read, I'm a Nice Guy by Pocket Oxford. Okay, Internet. I've been losing sleep lately. There's this girl, you see. I'm a nice guy, and I try to show her that, but don't know how to convince her that I'm here for her. If only I was better looking, but alas, I cannot change that. I'm just hoping one of you fine people of the internet could help me out, because I'm not sure how to proceed. The first time I saw her was the very first chem lab of my college career. I was sitting at one of the stations all alone as students meandered in. Nobody sat down next to me. I have to admit that saddened me, as I hoped that in college I'd find my brethren. I'd be recognized for my mind, nay, my genius. But not so. The frauds who called themselves high school teachers were unable to grasp the extent of my gifts, and so they gave me second-tier grades, thus sentencing me to a second-tier school. The second-tier people in this place did not recognize that they had a behemoth mind in their midst. But I digress. I was in chem lab, and she walked in, looked me right in the eyes and smiled. Oh, his heart be still. The thought of that smile still sends the old ticker into overdrive. She walked up to the front of the class, white lab coat billowing behind her like a robe of an angel. Could this lovely creature truly be our teaching assistant? She came to halt behind the desk at the front, pulled out some papers from her bag and shot me a nervous glance. And finally, after all the years in solitude, I knew what love was. I watched her intently as she flipped through the pages. I think she could have even that she could have even been the soulmate walking into class that day. Why else would she shoot me such a nervous glance every now and then, if not to ensure I was still watching her? All right, guys. Her voice was like ambrosia. This is Chem Lab, And that means that shit here is dangerous. That means no eating, no drinking in here. There's always some idiot who thinks that doesn't apply to him, but rest assured, there's shit in here that can kill you in minutes if accidentally ingested. 'Kay? Hey! She looked right at me. She was talking to me. That means cake is food too. I stuffed my cake into the bag. She cared about my safety. In that moment, I knew it. She loved me too. I lingered after class, hoping to catch her alone, but she was gone before I had my chance. I wasn't fazed. I am a true romantic, not like these guys who are after only one thing, and when they don't get it right away, they move on. No, I am one of the last knights in shining armor, and I had found my quest. The master sleuth I am. I found her workspace in the chemistry building, and there I left a single red rose for her. Just imagining her smile when she found it kept me warm for days. Each day I left her a rose. Using all my master wordsmithing skill, I crafted poems praising her lovely dark curls, her red lips, and her ample bosom. To brighten her day, I left them in her department mailbox. Finally, I couldn't resist any longer. I had to take our relationship to the next level. I found her after class, outed myself as her secret admirer, and asked her to be my companion for a meal. My lady politely declined, and hurried out of the room. Oh, what shyness! Such an endearing quality in a human female. I vowed that I would be the one to break through her barrier of shyness, and so I posed the question again and again. When the university told me I had to leave her alone and change labs, I was not deterred. The love between a student and a teacher is forever illicit. No doubt she was afraid that our love would jeopardize her career, her degree, and I accepted her choice, even knowing that she need neither. Sorry. Even knowing she'd need neither when she became my wife. Instead, I superstitiously left the love notes at her home. Finding her apartment was not difficult. I simply hid outside chemistry building until she came out and followed her home. It was then I found out that her apartment was on the ground floor. So unsafe, I thought. Any predator could hide in the bushes and leer at her through her windows. Or worse yet, simply climb in. It was my duty to protect her, thus ensuring her safety. I patrolled the windows every night. I think she knew. She left a gap in the curtains just large enough for me to watch her as she slept. All the while, she was still so shy. I knew I must prove to her the extent of my love, and I'd break through her shyness. She tested me again and again. When I called her phone to ask her to dine with me, she rebuffed me. When she blocked my number, I got a new phone. When she changed her number, I searched and I found it. When she moved to a new apartment, I found that too. This allowed me to prove myself as one that does not back down in the face of adversity. A true white knight! And I welcomed each new test. At least for the better part of a year, I did. But internet recently started to doubt. I'd been so subtle in my approach. Had I been too subtle in my approach? Now, I will not lie and say I have much experience with the fairer sex. I've always believed in true love and saved myself for that, but this has left me rather underdeveloped in my understanding of the workings of a female brain. I just wanted to prove how nice I am, how much I truly care about her. So I researched the female mind, and what I found scared me. If it's really true that women only fall for chads who treat them like dirt, what is a nice guy like me to do? My doubts grew. What if she wasn't different from all the other girls as I thought? A few days ago, I went to confront her. She didn't even open the door. She just yelled at me and that she'd call the police if I didn't go away. The police? What had I ever done except love her with a burning passion? If loving you is a crime, then I am guilty, I declared. She did not even have the decency to respond. Internet, I will not lie. This made me angry. After everything I had done for her, every compliment I had given her, every gift I had brought her, every sleepless night I had been standing outside of her apartment just to keep her safe, after all that, this is how she repays me. She would not even give me a chance to show her how delightful our life together would be. Oh, but Internet. As I wrote that sentence, I saw complete clarity in what I must do. I must show her how delightful our life together would be. If she just knew how nice I really am, she would love me. I'm sure of it. And I happen to have the perfect little room in my basement. If I keep her there for just a few days, a week at most, she'll see how nice I am, and she'll love me. So, what do you think of my plan? You think I found the way to my lover's heart? Edit. Oh. My heart knows true love. Just now the doorbell rang and I went outside to find a small cardboard box on my front steps, inside a lovely chocolate box. Chocolate cake. But the best part was literally the icing on the cake. For on the cake, in the icing, she had declared her love for me. Love, her name. Can you believe it? I'm over the moon with happiness. She loves me. She took the time to bake my favorite cake and painstakingly write a message on top of it. Of course I couldn't resist. I ate it all right at once. In fact, I think I might have eaten a little too fast. Because I'm not feeling very well. Forgive me if I do not respond to your comments right away. I really think I have to go lie down for a moment. That was I'm a Nice Guy. And this stream's health has gone down. Pretty much. Oh my goodness, what is wrong with my internet? Message retracted. Oh well. Gotta be sure to upvote this. I can. Oh good. I thought after 6 months it was archived. That's good. Right, I believe we got something during that. Itty Bitty. Thank you very much, Itty Bitty, for the $2. Venomously hilarious ending. And basically, I know it's obvious, but just in case you thought I didn't like the story and I fell asleep to it, no, it was just a joke because the guy's drugged. Oh my goodness. I'll do a bit of a Q&A right now. If anyone has any questions whilst the stream quality isn't trash, according to my devices, go ahead, ask me questions. Anything you want to know. How much do I bench? I'll let you know. Zud, will you be handing the big cats the money in person? I want to, but I don't think Safina has the time for me. She's such a busy lioness. Also, don't forget to like this live stream. Where's my hammer? My hammer is right here. I know. I've grown a lot since I've got it. Still got it though, you know. You know what? That's eating a lot of beef. Why is Steam working? Steam just turned itself on. I read a few stories, and you know what? I just forgot to link that last one. Steam, stop it. Why is it opening itself? Exit Steam. Exit Steam. Exit Steam. So, if you have a problem with a machine like this, in sports, diet is necessary, or can you eat all as long as you burn the fat? Okay, when it comes to diet, it really depends from person to person. Like, even I haven't found my perfect diet. I'm not gonna lie, I don't eat many vegetables, but that's just me. I am lucky enough that I can function fairly well without eating many vegetables. I mainly eat meat and potatoes, sweet potatoes. That's a bad diet. You should eat vegetables, leafy greens if you can stomach them. I just don't like the chlorophyll. It doesn't work well with my digestive system. And fruit. I eat a lot of fruit, so that might make up for some of it, but not a lot. Yeah, but my only advice when it comes to eating, the amount of you eat, you have to just, how do I put this? You have to find your good, I'm terrible with words. You have to find out, it's trial and error. Basically, I just kept eating whatever I wanted. When I noticed, I'm putting on a bit of fat here, I toned it down a bit. I'm kind of a fan of the keto diet, where you eat a lot less sugar than you do fats, because fats, that's not really builds up on your belly. It's not the same type of fat. But anyway, if I have to give you any tips on dieting, which I don't like vegetables, so it's whatever. Eat less sugar, eat more lipids, like fats and oils, and you should be fine. But that's only if you balance it with the amount of exercise and sleep you get. Because if you get those three, a good diet, good exercise, and sleep, a lot of sleep, the appropriate amount of sleep, you'll be healthy. But you have to find out what works for you. Yes, everyone needs vegetables. I just do not have the willpower for it. My favorite fruit is the pink lady apple. They are delicious, and I cannot live without them. All right. What's your favorite fruit? Oh yeah, I just read the same thing twice. Eat leaf. I cannot eat leaf. Leaf not food. Leaf makeshift toilet paper. What accent I do? No idea. Cheesy McWheezy, thank you very much for the $2. The Lions, thank you. You don't need a diet. No, diet in this aspect doesn't mean go on a diet. It just means what your food consists of. I mean, what food you eat. I'm just watching my stream go, oh. Am I still jumping around? Got to see you, Scott. See you. See you, Nag. I haven't spoke to you in a while, but I hope you're doing good, brother. And you have a good night. So who are your parents? Jesus and Justin Timberlake? Now, that's been a long time since someone's called me Justin Timberlake or said I look whatever like him. God, my internet. The stream is going bad. I'm sorry. Please bear with me a moment. I need to check if anything is being done in the house to affect the Wi-Fi. I'll be right back. Please don't screenshot my ass. Hi. Screenshotted. The audio is good. Video is not. Yeah. See, the video in my live stream seemed on, you know, the live stream I have right now seems fine, but it's weird. Okay. I'll do another story. Actually, I need to pee. Did you know when I was in my mummy's tummy, my name was going to be Scott? Perhaps not with a K, though. Wait, do you mean you, Laura, or do you mean me? Because I think it was always a K. Always K. Okay, I'll answer this tattoo question, then I'll go pee, and then we'll continue with the stories. This is a wolf's paw. It is, one, a cover-up of a biohazard tattoo that had no meaning to me. This, the meaning to me, well, it symbolizes nature, my love of wolves, which are my favorite animal, and wildlife, and the wildness that's within us all. We're all animals, after all. This is an Ouroboros. This is a serpent, dragon, snake, serpent, doesn't matter, that bites its own tail. God, this is awkward as hell. But catch me flexing on demos. A serpent biting its own tail symbolizes many things, but for me, and one of the main symbols is the circle of life, which is amazing. Have you ever heard that? If I wouldn't have been a boy, I was going to be called Scott. Oh, I didn't know that, Laura. That's awesome. My name goes back further than I thought. And this one, this is another wolf. That's a cover-up for an old wolf tattoo I had earlier in the year. You guys probably haven't seen that. Oh. Did the stream go offline? Huh. Is the stream okay? Because it just said it went offline for a second there. Green blips on right edge of the screen. Huh. That is really strange. It's pretty jumpy. Well, anyway, this is a big bad wolf to symbolize my years of having temper, anger problems, and wearing my sins on my sleeve? Is that it? Just glitchy. Okay, well, whilst I go to the toilet, I'll play an ad, because apparently that's a feature, and it raises more money for the animals. So, sorry for putting ads on this, but it's for the animals. And I need to pee. I don't know if it's working, so sorry if it didn't. Howdy. Gonna use this chance to take it down. There it is. Is everything good? Stream is offline. What's going on with my stream? Oh, yeah, something is wrong. I can't even refresh the browser. The browser's bugged. So anyone who's watching the stream right now, it's still going on. Just don't know what's wrong with the computer. Okay. Are we back? Hi Laura, is it back? Ah, just a second. I'm good now. We good, people? Yeah, it says people live for me. Live for me. Some people are saying no. Love you too. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Okay, so I don't know what broke that. Maybe it's a combination of my terrible internet connection or playing that ad. So we won't be playing ads anymore, just in the off chance that was the problem. Yes, Emmett, this is for the Safina Lion Conservation Fund. I keep going to say Wildlife Trust. Why do I say that? Oh, did we get something? Oh, we got a donation from Dark and Light. There seems to be... Yeah, there's no message with it, so... For right now, just thank you very much. Refresh the stream. You think that's a good idea? That might help, actually. Yeah, I'm going to refresh the stream, make sure everyone gets on. It works, so I'll be back in a few seconds. Don't tell me, wait, okay, what was your question? What was your question, Ocean's Fury Unleashed? And no, you didn't hear P, that was Rain. Yes, this is Sooty. She's come to support her cousins. Okay. Sorry, my friend Curtis. What was your question, mate? You sent it in a chat. No, you didn't. I didn't see your question in the chat, so yeah. Yeah, black cats are the best. That's why. Okay, so this is supposed to be a narration stream, so I'm gonna get back to that. Oh, when am I coming to visit? I don't know, man. I want to get my driving done first. I did my Oh, yeah, I passed my driving test theory recently, so that's good. 2 years to pass the normal test. It's okay, Dark and Light. Thank you for stopping by and thank you for the donation. Right, let's continue with the stories. I am 24. Okay. This is a story by Rhaegar. I've been to hell. Here's what to expect. Downward spiral. I didn't even notice I was in hell my first year. Every day life seemed the same, minus one particular detail. Nothing good ever happened. Ever. I had a secure job, relationship, and life. It fell apart. All those little doubts I had about myself ate away at me until they were full-blown paranoia. Then it became reality. My company kept suffering loss after loss, until the problems were eventually pinpointed to being solely my fault. After I lost my job, I lost my fiancée to my best friend, and no one seemed to be on my side. Every person in my life was cold and distant. Even the little things that didn't matter were awful. Food always tasted terrible. My favorite shows were cancelled, and something in my apartment always needed to be repaired. Each day was cold with rainy overcast, and the nights were eerily dark with no stars or moonlight. There is absolutely no enjoyment in hell. But the first year is child's play compared to the rest. Silence. During the second year, I came to two possible conclusions. The first was that I had gone completely insane. And the second was that I was no longer in the same world I was born to. It started in the morning when I powered up the TV. The morning news was on, but I couldn't hear anything. I turned the volume up to the max, but still nothing. I set the remote down and I couldn't hear it hit the table. I started to panic and immediately assumed I'd lost my hearing. I spoke out loud, but I was able to hear my voice just fine. I walked down to the corner store. Everyone dropped what they were doing and looked directly at me. Everything froze, like time was standing still. My stomach turned. A sea of people stared in my direction, but their faces were a jumble of features, eyes, noses, and mouths all swirled in a mess of flesh, hair, and teeth. Even if I wanted to speak with one of these monstrosities, I couldn't. They remained still, dead silent. Dead silence was everywhere I went, and every person stopped and turned in my direction, always watching my every move with their misplaced eyeballs. Hell was studying me, and it got worse. Seclusion. If you've ever wished you could be in complete isolation, I'll be the first to tell you that it's not worth it. One day, out of nowhere, I was completely alone. No jumbled-faced people, animals, cars, or life in general. The world was a hollow reminder of what it used to be. With no other plan in mind, I started wondering. The depression started to wear on me. Always alone. I had no idea what was going on or where I was. Eventually it was too much, and the loneliness weighed me down. I gave up. I jumped off the tallest building I could find. I felt the entire impact of the fall. I heard my bones shatter, but death never came. After 3 agonizing days of lying on the cold, black asphalt, the excruciating pain started to fade and my body remained intact, even though it should have been completely mangled. Shadows. The suicide attempt seemed to accelerate things, but I was awarded with one luxury, and I used that term lightly. I could hear sounds again. It wasn't worth much in an empty world, but nevertheless, it had returned. But like everything in hell, there was a reason. My hearing allowed the shadows to terrify me on unimaginable levels. I'm not really sure what these things are, but I can try my best to describe them. You know that feeling when you're walking in a dark room or going down a flight of stairs in a creepy basement? The feeling that something is right behind you, so you start moving a little faster to get to the light. Multiply that fear by 100. I would catch glimpses of them out of the corner of my eye. Tall, black, humanoid figures darting quickly behind buildings or trees. I could feel them getting closer. The creeping paranoia consumed me. One night, I was taking a shortcut through an apartment complex. The entrance doors were open, and a flickering fluorescent light partially illuminated the narrow ground floor hallway. Halfway down Halfway down the corridor, the light went out, and darkness washed over me. The hair on the back of my neck stood straight up, and I had the unmistakable feeling of something behind me. I prepared to run, but I was too late. With a high-pitched howl, one of the shadows had me. Its cold, dead hands wrapped around my arms and sank its teeth into the top of my skull. The pain was indescribable. I thrashed around in agony as more shadows emerged from open apartment doors. In my fit of pain and terror, I pulled my head free from the fangs and stumbled to my feet. I ran for what seemed like hours. I learned quickly that traveling in the evening was no longer an option. I barricaded myself in any shelter I could find every night. The shadows always paced outside my doors, until they would leave in the morning as the dull grey cloud-covered sunlight drove them off. Abyss. Eventually, my nomadic lifestyle was impossible to continue. I unlocked the door of the small two-bedroom house I had been sleeping in and walked outside. It was raining. It's always raining, Britain. Despite all I had been through, what I saw took me completely by surprise. The first change was the gates. Black iron bars had surrounded the neighborhood. They extended from the ground and rose impossibly high into the sky. I was trapped. The second thing I saw were the jumpable fence people. The second thing I saw were the jumbled-faced people. They'd returned. Dozens of them were lined up on the street in perfectly straight rows. They were different, though. In groups of 4 dressed in black robes, they walked hand in hand towards the massive swimming pool-sized hole in the ground without hesitation. A group of 4 would fall in, and after a few seconds, the next group would follow suit. I turned around to head back inside the home. But I couldn't. The bars had somehow closed in and were just a few feet away. I looked back towards the people I saw, and the bars across the street had moved in closer as well. It was pushing me towards the hole. I panicked and grabbed the bars with both hands and began to shake them. They didn't budge. I started running the entire perimeter, looking for any way out. The bars began to move, ripping through the earth and concrete, pushing me closer and closer to the dark abyss. By this time, the rows of people were gone. I planted my feet in the ground and began pushing with all of my strength. The bars continued to force me closer to the endless hole, despite all my efforts. After a few moments, it was too late. I was right on the edge. I remember clawing at the ground, begging for help. I accepted the inevitable fact that I was going to descend into darkness. But just before I fell, a flash of blinding light. Electric pain filled my chest. I woke up in the emergency room back on Earth. According to the paramedics, I was only dead for a few seconds. I began rambling about all that I had seen and been through, but no one seemed to acknowledge or believe me. This story is not a lesson. I'm not telling you to change your life or be a better person. This is a warning. If nothing is going well in your life, it might not be a coincidence. You may be in hell. Oh, wow. That was I've Been to Hell and Here's What to Expect. Link in the chat now. Oh. Amesykins, $24.99. Thank you very much. Love you, man. Such a great charity to support. So important to save Mother Earth and her children. You're damn right. You are damn right, ma'am. There is a kind of creepy clip on YouTube about how XD. Well, that doesn't sound like a pleasant existence to me either. I'm running out of stories I had ready. Right, what happened to all the stories? I think I read quite a few. What is going on with my machine? Things don't seem right. Okay, so this is the time that a request is actually... See, like, no one has actually paid for a request, so I shouldn't feel too bad. But that was kind of one of my things aiming for. Someone could donate so I could do a request for them, for the animals. But I don't know if that's being too cheeky. I'm Zekins. Can you do a story about the Grim Reaper? Oh, dang it. I'm not... To be honest, if you have a good story that you've already read, that you know is quite good, I might just do it anyway. Because it's... I can't really find any. Maybe I should just read a story I've already read. I might. God, the internet's getting worse with this stream, so... I don't want to wrap up yet, I really don't. I want to keep going. But this is not making it easy. This is being a butt. A pube. I've read that quite a bit. And I think the first one's pretty long. So I'm going to avoid doing the marine stories right now. How's the menopause? Aimsykins, thank you very much for $15. So cool. And Sleepy Rosie, thank you very much for the £5. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And the menopause, I've gotten better. Thank you so much. Aimsykins, since you donated a lot already, suggest something if you know it. Suggest a story. Sooty wants to hear one. She's getting bored. She might run. What are you staring at? I think she sees a ghost. Oh, just link him. Link him in the chat. Whoa, boy, that's a long one. And just so you know, these stories have to be Creative Commons so I can use them. The Highwayman. I will look up the Highwayman. Because if they're not Creative Commons, I can't do them legally. I mean, if they're on the Creepypasta Wiki, they usually CC by SA, which means I can do them without having to ask the author. Or alternatively, I'll ask the author if I can do their stories, which I have on Reddit, and then I can do them. But unfortunately, some of the stories on YouTube, Reddit. Some stories on the internet I can't do. The Highwayman, I can't find that story. Is it a Reddit story or is it a creepypasta story? I'm on the creepypasta wiki and I can't really find it. Hey, don't hide your beautiful face. Show these people who you are. Look at that cat. Look at that. Beautiful. I've got cat hair on my face now. That was a bad mistake. Twisted Teddy. Thank you, Laura, for linking me, but again, like, I need to be sure I can legally do these, or else YouTube will just kick me in the ass. Oh, it doesn't matter. Do a werewolf story. Oh, I'd do one in a heartbeat if I could find a good one. It wasn't too long. Oh, the Highwayman. The Highwayman. I'll Google it. Is it short? Alfred Noyes. Okay, this is good. I'll do this because I like poetry. I'm only doing it in a while. Sorry, I gotta let the girl out. Right, okay. So, The Highwayman. Let's do this then. The Highwayman by Alfred Noyes. The wind was a torrent of darkness among the gusty trees. The moon was a ghostly galleon tossed upon cloudy seas. The road was a ribbon of moonlight over the purple moor. And the highwayman came riding, riding, riding. The highwayman came riding into the old inn door. He'd a French cocked hat on his forehead, a bunch of lace at his chin, a coat of claret velvet, and breeches of brown doeskin. They fitted with a never a wrinkle. His boots were up to the thigh, and he rode with his jewelled twinkle. With a jewelled twinkle, his pistol butt a twinkle, his rapier hilt a twinkle, under the jewelled sky. Over the cobbles he clattered and clashed in the dark inn-yard, and he tapped with his whip on the shutters, but all was locked and barred. He twisted a tune to the window, and who would be waiting there but the landlord's black-eyed daughter, Bess, the landlord's daughter, plaiting a dark red love knot into her long black hair. And dark in the dark old inn-yard a stable wicket creaked, where Tim, the ostler, listened. His face was white and peaked. His eyes were hollows of madness, his hair like mouldy hay. But he loved the landlord's daughter. The landlord's daughter, red-lipped daughter. Dumb as a dog he listened, and he heard the robber say, "One kiss, my bonny sweetheart. I'm after a prize tonight. But I shall be back with the yellow gold before the morning light. Yet, if they press me sharply, and harry me through the day, then look for me by moonlight, watch for me by moonlight. I'll come to thee by moonlight, through hell should bar the way. Though hell should bar the way." He rose upright in the stirrups. He scarce could reach her hand, but she loosened her hair in the casement. His face burnt a brand. I need to really shake my head because I'm not really reading properly. His face burnt like a brand as the black cascade of perfume came tumbling over his breast, and he kissed its waves in the moonlight. Oh, sweet black waves in the moonlight. Then he tugged at his rein in the moonlight and galloped away to the west. Part 2. He did not come in the dawning. He did not come at the noon, and out of the tawny sunset before the rise of the moon, when the road was a gypsy ribbon, looping the purple moor. The redcoat troop came marching, marching, marching. King George's men came marching up to the old inn door. They said no word to the landlord, They drank his ale instead, but they dragged his daughter and bound her to the foot of the narrow bed. 2 of them knelt at her casement, with muskets at their side. There was death at every window, and hell at one dark window. For Bess could see through her casement the road that he would ride. They had tied her up to attention with many a sniggering jest. They had bound a musket beside her, with the barrel beneath her breast. "Now keep good watch," and they kissed her. She heard the dead man say, "Look for me by moonlight. Watch for me by moonlight. I'll come to thee by moonlight, though hell should bar the way." She twisted her hands behind her, but all the knots held good. She writhed her hands till her fingers went wet with the sweat or blood. They stretched and strained in the darkness, and the hours crawled by like years, till now, on the stroke of midnight, cold on the stroke of midnight, the tip of one finger touched it. The trigger, at least, was hers. The tip of one of the fingers touched it. She strove no more for the rest. Up she stood to attention, with the barrel beneath her breast. She would not risk their hearing. She would not strive again, for the road lay bare in the moonlight, blank and bare in the moonlight, and the blood of her veins in the moonlight throbbed to her love's refrain. Thlot, thlot, thlot. Had they heard it? The horse hoofs ringing clear, thlot, 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 in the distance. Were they deaf that they did not hear? Down the ribbon of moonlight, over the brow of the hill, the highwaymen came riding, riding, riding. The redcoats looked to their priming. She stood up, straight and still. In the frosty silence, in the echoing night, nearer he came, nearer. Her face was like a light. Her eyes grew wide for a moment. She drew one last deep breath. Then her finger moved in the moonlight. Her musket shattered the moonlight, shattered her breast in the moonlight, and warned him with her death. She turned. He turned. He spotted to the west. He did not know who stood bowed, with her head over the musket, drenched with her own red blood. Not till the dawn he heard it. His face grew grey to hear how Bess, the landlord's daughter, the landlord's black-eyed daughter, had watched for her love in the moonlight, and died in the darkness there. Back he spurred like a madman, shrieking a curse to the sky, with the white road smoking behind him, and his rapier brandished high. Blood red were his spurs in the golden noon, wine red was his velvet coat, when they shot him down on the highway, down like a dog on the highway. And he lay in his blood on the highway, with a bunch of lace at his throat. And still of a winter's night, they say, when the wind is in the trees, when the moon is a ghostly galleon tossed upon the cloudy seas, when the road is a ribbon of moonlight over the purple moor, a highwayman comes riding, riding, riding. A highwayman comes riding up to the old inn door. Over cobbles he clatters and clangs in the dark inn yard. He taps with his whip on the shutters, but all is locked and barred. He whistles a tune to the window, and who should be waiting there but the landlord's black-eyed daughter, Bess, the landlord's daughter, painted a dark red love knot into her long black hair. God, I messed up so many times, and I am so sorry for that. Yeah, that's a very sad story. Poem. Story. Story poem. But you know what? I'm going to try and do the next story in a Scottish accent for no apparent reason. I'm not very good at accents. Who am I kidding? I'm fantastic. But I'm trying to be, you know, humble. Now, last time I did a story in an accent that was not my own, sorry, it was a struggle. Oh, thank you very much. Remember, if stories are being suggested, they have to be Creative Commons and not too long. This one, it's a bit too long, and I have no idea if it's Creative Commons. What the hell is that? Oh. That's weird. Read Green Eggs and Ham. We want Dr. Zeus? Dr. Zeus? He's not part of the Norse gods. So I don't know him. Ermagerd, hey. Hi, Hazel. Welcome. I'm pretty sure that Dr. Zeus is copywritten, so if I read Green Eggs and Ham, I'd get my ass kicked. Hi, Red. Welcome. Get my ass kicked by copyright bullshit. Yeah, I can't do copywritten material, even if it's for charity. No one cares if it's for charity. It's unfair. The world is a cruel, harrowing place. Is there a reason you narrate so much sad, creepy stuff? I like creepy stuff. Sad stuff kind of just props up by not mistake. If I like the idea of a story, or the first few lines and title of a story, I'll give it a shot. I don't really like sad stories, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, some of them, once I've read them, okay, I do like them, and they're very good, but they're not something I'll seek out, because I don't like sad stories. I like happy stories. Or, if it's a sad ending, or a bad ending, it's because there's a cool monster in it, and I like monsters and cool things like that. Do a creepy action story. H.P. Lovecraft, I've done them. Well, I've done a few. Have I ever written my own story? Yes, I have, and it's bad. Sorry, let me just check. Laura, you have sent me something. What's up? Well, I'll have to do that later because I can't do them right now. Take up too much time for me to send you. But thank you very much, Laura. If you're up for that, yeah, I'll send you some of the stories. Jurassic World poster. At least Fallen Kingdom kind of redeemed Jurassic Park 3. I love Fallen Kingdom. No, actually, Fallen Kingdom, that made me sad. That actually made me tear up. But Jurassic World in general, that recaptured the original beauty. And I didn't mind Jurassic Park 3. Thought it was good. Okay. Just stream it then. Don't upload the stream if you're afraid of copyright. I like keeping the stream there for people who missed it and kind of want to see what happened. Plus, I think it still counts if it's on the stream. I don't know. I don't want to step on any toes. Okay. I'm looking through different stories on the Creepypasta wiki, which all are Creative Commons unless stated otherwise. Yeah, that is an Overwatch poster in the background. I used to actually play that game. Nowadays, not so much. I see, Laura. Okie doke. Can you just read a takeaway menu? I'm dieting and need ASMR. Just trying to remember, like, what stories have I done? I know what I'll do. Okay. How about... Here we go. This is a carbon copy of what is on the Creepypasta wiki, but it is basically a bestiary You guys like bestiaries? Yeah? On the Michigan Dogman. How's that sound? Yeah, I've read An Egg. Curtis, I want a dinosaur. Scott, I'm taking a genetics module next semester so we can start our own Jurassic World. Yes, please. Get me them there dinosaurs. Yeah, let's do Michigan Dogman. Yep, I remember that one. Red, I remember that one. It was a decent story. The Legend of Michigan's Dogman. Wait, sorry, one second. I gotta make sure this isn't... Okay, this is fine. So the officer and I were... the officer and I went out there to take a look at it, and, you know, he... Just tried to chew in around the doors. You could see a dog print outside on the window here, so you know it was obviously a dog. Somewhere in the southwoods darkness, a creature walks upright. And the best advice you may ever get is to never go out at night. A very strange thing happened after the poem aired on the radio, April 1st, 1987. And it became obvious the story was not going to fade away. The first 2 times the song was played, there was no viewer reaction or calls. Cook and O'Malley were prepared to let the failed prank die when the phone lines started lighting up. People were calling in asking about that weird song. Listeners asked, "Who did that song on the Dogman thing? And when are you going to play it again?" O'Malley took a call from an elderly man who stated that he was chilled to the bone after hearing the song and actually seen a similar creature years before. That was the first of many sighting reports that would pour into the station over the next few weeks. Scores of people told of stories and encounters with a creature that was very much like Cook's fabricated Dogman. Within 1 month, the Legend of the Dogman became the most requested song on air for a short period of time and was added to the regular rotation of the music. Other stories began to surface and be compared to the Michigan Dogman story. A century old, a mysterious Indian legend revealed shocking similarities. A French fur trader's diary from 1804 told of an encounter with Loup-garou. A letter from 1857 described a creature that stood upright like a man, yet bore the countenance of a grey wolf. A real Dogman sighting investigated by Lake County Sheriff Deputy Jeff Chamberlain, who was accompanied by a Department of Natural Resources officer, Ron McCarty, was picked up and reported on by Mark Maron. Sorry, my cat is being very, very annoying at the door. I don't know if you can hear it, but she's going to scratch everything until she gets her way. The door is now left open for you, you cheeky little bugger. That's it. I'm eating you. Cat hair. Fuck, it's in my eye. And the stories began to surface. Blah, blah, blah. Jeff Chamberlain, who was accompanied by the Department of Natural Resources, a reporter for... Mart Marantet, a reporter for the... Please use English words. Cadillac, yes, okay. A reporter for the Cadillac Evening News. Then the other news outlets picked up on the story and was later fed down the Associated Press newswire, and thus was picked up by all news across America. It was even mentioned as a strange coincidence in Paul Harvey's National News and Comments broadcast. McCarty called the TV station WTCM, stating that he and Chamberlain had openly joked about how this sighting would fit in with the 7th-year prophecy made in the song. McCarty's voice would later appear in the beginning of the 10th anniversary version of the song. The Legend 97. Suddenly, The Legend soared into national prominence and became a hit song once again, only this time on a much larger scale. Requests for copies came in from all 50 states and around the world. Eventually, the master tape, never considered to be of real value, had been destroyed, and Steve Cook went into the studio again, this time with an upgraded keyboard, and recorded the song a second time. A few changes were made to the lyrics to update The Legend for summer. When it was finished, the second master recording was shipped to Southfield, Michigan for mass production. The first 500 copies arrived a week later and sold out in 12 days. The Legend had become hot property with record stores and radio stations across the country calling the station requesting copies. A large record company offered to record and promote the song, and Steve Cook faced the difficult decision of whether to release The Legend on a national scale or to keep it local and manageable. Steve chose to keep it local. The music and lyrics were copyrighted by Mindscape Productions, Cook's marketing and advertising company. More and more copies of the tape, which was originally priced at $3, were sold, and in the fall of 1987, WTCM held art contest which allowed amateur artists the chance to submit works depicting what they thought the Dogman looked like. There were over 100 entries. Some were exceptional, but by far the most chilling and dramatic was an 11 by 17 charcoal sketch done by Brian Rosinski, who was only 23 years old at the time and had never had a formal art lesson. The song was never intended to be marketable or for profit, and any profits earned derived from its sale would be donated to charity. The first charity was... I'm so sorry, I keep making mistakes. The first charity was the Traverse City Cherryland Humane Society, which scored $2,500 towards drilling a new water well and the remodeling of the adult dog facility, which included new floor tile and pens. In 2001, Cook was introduced to Brian Manley, founder of AC Paw, a no-kill animal rescue program that specializes in local causes. AC Paw takes in animals that have been injured, abused, or neglected, or that have used up the maximum boarding in traditional facilities and are about to be euthanized. Okay, so what I've read so far is just about the song and isn't really talking about the Dogman. So I'm sorry about that. I'm going to skip ahead past the story of the song and go to the Gable film and then the encounters. The Gable film. In an estate sale, an old film was found in a box. After viewing it, a home video of a strange attack was discovered. The film shows a young boy filming normal family stuff until a truck ride passing by a field shows a creature of some sort. They stop the truck and film the creature until it charges to attack. The attack is somewhat caught on tape and even shows the mouth of the animal. The mouth rules out ape and dog origin. Some people claim it's the Dogman. And if I can actually get that video, which I can, we can watch it together. Sorry if that's loud, I can't hear anything. Is everyone ready to watch it? Because I'm going to paste it in the chat and we can watch it together. And yeah, we can do that and then I'll do the other one. All right, I'll count down, and on the count of 3, because I'm going to be watching it with you, so we all watch it together. Yeah, even if you've seen it, I'm going to watch it, because I haven't seen it. Then I'll continue. 3, 2, 1, go. And good, it has no audio, so I can talk over it. My God, what is that strange creature? It seems to be riding some sort of vehicle. Yeah, I watch Monster Quest as well, so this does seem pretty familiar. Yes. This has become a Let's Watch stream with Nature's Temper. This is also me taking a bit of a break because I made so many mistakes, it's playing in my brain a bit. Oh, also, I'm getting a bit tired. It's not even 11 yet. Monster Quest was a TV show. They kind of did what I do with Bestiaries, but they do it better and with a higher budget. You only see, yeah, I know you only see me because I'm not putting the video on the stream because it's someone else's video. I linked it in the chat so people could watch it along with me. That's what I did, and I counted down. If you're not watching it currently, we are currently at 1 minute 30, 1 minute 31. Actually, the first recorded image of the giant squid. They done legit work. Yeah, that's true. They did. Is that a deer? Oh, there's something. That's a dog. That's legit a dog. A German Shepherd, if I have to say, or a mongrel. Mongrels are cool. We should make a short horror film. I'll be the beautiful lass. The damsel in distress. So, the dog isn't... Well, it's looking at something. But it's not freaking out. Man, this video is taking a while, isn't it? Why would they... Come on, you... Oh, there's the thing! Shaky footage. I like it. Okay, still shaky. Blurry. Don't see much. When did they say this film was made? Oh, there it is. Finally, like at the end of the video. Yeah. That does seem a bit shitty. Okay, video's over. It's my personal opinion. It's fake as hell. Life is better with dog people, cause that's just neat, yeah. Yeah, I think it's just a guy in a suit because the way it runs is not like any canine, ursine, or any animal I know. It walks like someone. It runs awkwardly like a person who's trying to run on all fours. All right, let's continue with the encounters of the Dogman. Big Rapids, 1961. When I was a boy, my father was the night watchman at a manufacturing plant located in a rural area between Big Rapids and Chippewa Lake, Michigan. Our house, which, if I remember right, was a perk of the night watchman job, was the street from the factory. The plant building was right next to a large wilderness area in the state land. At that time, it was simply known as the Haymarsh, but now it's officially named the Haymarsh State Game Area. We didn't understand it at the time, but Dad was always very skittish about letting us play outside after dark. We would sometimes talk about hearing coyotes or bears roaming around in the Haymarsh, when he was walking in the perimeter of the building at night. One night in the summer of 1961, Dad walked back to the house to sit on the porch and have a cup of coffee and a sweet roll. He had a good view of the entire plant property. He saw some movement near the chain-link fence behind the building. It was approximately at 3 a.m., so he felt quite sure this person wasn't there by accident. He drew his gun and watched for a moment. Thank you very much for the donation. He drew his gun and watched for a few minutes. That's when he noticed that this was not a person at all, but something much taller. He said it appeared to be covered in brown-gray hair. It had very broad shoulders and a powerful chest. It alternated between walking on all fours and standing up on two. He said it seemed to be looking for something along the driveway. He said later he couldn't quite believe what he was seeing. He quietly moved into the house and grabbed his Kodak camera, which was his pride and joy, matter of fact. At this point, I should mention that my dad was quite the photography buff. His father had owned one of the first camera stores in Ohio, and Dad got the shutter bug from Grandpa. As he stepped back onto the front porch, the creature moved slowly along the driveway. Directly under the lights, he adjusted the camera shutter for just a long exposure. Held it as still as he could, still shaking pretty bad by then, and snapped a picture. I have enclosed a print of it in his letter. Dad said a few seconds later the thing dropped back down on all fours and slowly moved off into the woods. He sent a print to the local paper and sent copies to several magazines. One that I think was called Mysterion published the photo in their spring issue of 1962. Dad had a copy of the magazine for years, but it was misplaced after he passed. I still have the negative strip that contains this image. If you would like to have someone examine it, could have Dad's Kodak signet. I haven't shot any pictures with it for years. Pretty sure it still works. Next one. Next encounter, but first. Thank you very much, Sleepy Stoat, for $1.99. Man, that is a very cute stoat. One week back around fall of 1986, my two best friends and I were staying at my family's cabin, which was not far from a small town of Sparta, about 20 minutes north of Grand Rapids. My two friends had left dinner whilst I stayed behind at the cabin. Following the dinner, the man heading back towards Sparta in the cabin. The man headed back towards Sparta in the cabin. What happened next would shock and disturb them for years. It was dark, and they were on a rural road. Suddenly both of them saw something standing by the side of the road, in the headlights of the car. It appeared to be a human-like figure covered in grey fur. As they got closer and past the figure, both of them got a very good look at it. It was the size of a man. Stood on two legs, it was covered head to toe in grey fur and had a wolf-like face. It even raised its hands and seemed to snarl at them as they drove by. They said it looked like a werewolf out of a Hollywood movie. My two friends didn't dare stop. They continued driving, and of course they were peppering each other with questions. Did you see that too? Was that a dog? Was that someone dressed up in a costume? And so on. As they were having this animated conversation, they passed by a sign that says, "Welcome to Sparta," and drove through the small main street and continued out of the town in the direction of my cabin. The conversation about what had happened continued when both of them looked up to see the same "Welcome to Sparta" sign again, followed by the same main street sign that they had just driven by only moments ago. They hadn't stopped or turned around. They had been travelling in the same direction on the same road, but somehow without any notable interruption in their journey, they had somehow been sent backwards several miles. Until this point, it would be easy to dismiss this event as someone playing a joke. However, the time displacement characteristic is what sets this encounter apart. While such things are well documented in UFO and alien abduction stories, it's something we've not seen in dogmen sightings before. Andy continues. I remember when they finally showed up at my cabin. They arrived no later than what I would expect them to, around 9 p.m. or so, and I remember how animated they were about their strange encounter. But I just assumed they had seen a large dog and were telling me an embellishment story in order to get a laugh. But 20 years later, both of them still insist that this was no joke. I have no idea what to make of the story, but maybe it was just some teenagers in a werewolf costume playing pranks. And did my friends really experience lost time afterwards? Or did they just make some wrong turns on their drive and didn't notice because they were talking and distracted? I have no idea. But I would love to know if anyone else has seen similar things in the Sparta area. Just making sure how much we have left, because I think after this, I'm going to stop the stream and go to bed, because I keep making so many mistakes. It's grating on my nerves and making me a bit sleepy. I don't know how that's making... Maybe I'm just getting sleepy. It's cause and effect, not the same thing. What do I think of this vid? I'll check it out. You made me close my thing. Oh. Sorry. Oh. I'm checking out a Skinwalker video. Sorry. That's cool. That is pretty cool. Oh, sorry. Stuff is loading. Because that made me tab out of the page by accident. That's a pretty cool video, but it does sound like it's edited. Like the audio quality doesn't sound right. I just want to donate. Oh, hold on. Did I get another donation? Dark and Light? Is that still lingering on the page? Well, Dark and Light, if you sent another donation. Yeah, you did? No, I think that's showing up from before. You donate. There's a button somewhere on the page of the stream. I think it's called Super Chat feature. If you click that, that's the donation button, basically. All the money I get from this will be given to the Safina Wildlife. The Safina Conservation... I am so tired. The Safina Lion Conservation Fund. There we go. Right. Let's get these last encounters done. Then I'm going to go to bed. Sorry, one sec. When things catch my eye, I can't help but have a look. Lupin turns into a werewolf. That's like one of the worst werewolves in movie history. I mean, it's not that bad. It's not like it's a human that's got claws and a little bit of extra fur on their face. That's the worst type of werewolf in movies. Hate them. Okay, Reed City, 1993. A year before I was born. The area around Reed City, Michigan, has been a hotbed for dogman activity. This report details an event that occurred nearly 20 years ago, over 20 years ago, but the witnesses remember it was like it was yesterday, and is unshakable in her memory. Her name is Courtney, and her encounter took place during the winter of 1993 to 94. Courtney was a teenager at the time, and she was sneaking cigarettes behind her parents' home, near Todd Lake, northeast of Reed City. The sun was setting on a clear, cold winter day. Courtney was facing a large abandoned barn on the property next door. The barn was always kind of... Sorry. The barn always kind of spooked me. It was filled with rusty old equipment. The outer planks were all rotten, and it sagged and leaned in every direction. My dad said to stay away, as the whole thing could collapse. On that evening, I was standing about 50 feet from the barn and saw sunlight coming through the gaps. I lost my spot. Gaps in the siding. Courtney took her eyes off the barn for a few minutes. Then something caught her attention again. There was some movement. The light flickered, but I couldn't really tell what it was. Then it turned its head back and looked straight at me. It was at least 6 feet tall, if not more. It was dark-colored. It had a dog-like appearance, pointy nose and really big pointy ears. Courtney dashed into her house to grab her flashlight. When she returned outside, she shined it towards the barn door, but the animal was no longer there. She walked closer to the barn to look at the tracks in the heavy snow, but she didn't see any. She realized the creature might still be inside, and ran back to the safety of the house. She never saw the creature again. She talked to a neighbor who had seen something the size of a buffalo, but the shape of a dog, in the same barn a few months before Courtney's encounter. The neighbor said she had been so frightened, she was near hysterics for days. Her father had taken his gun and searched the barn, but found nothing. At the time of these events, neither of the girls had heard of the legend song. I did not know the Michigan Dogman until years later. Good night, Emmett. Oh, good night, Roma. Thor lookalike, you should sleep. The Avengers will be waiting for you, and Thanos needs some ass kicking. Should have gone for the head. That was not his voice, but tired. Should have gone for the head. Oh, you don't know my name? My name's Scott. Scott Odin. I have more to read than I thought I did, but we will get through it. For the Lions. I haven't had a donation in a while, but it's okay. It's for the Lions, no matter what. I made a promise I'd finish this. Waters Meat, 1994, year I was born. This report comes to us from an anonymous contributor who grew up in Sheboygan County, but spent many years camping in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. Well, as soon as I say it, shows your kitty one last time before you go. Thank you, Miss Abby. Thank you so much. My kitty has left the room, but before I go, I if I forget, I'm sorry, but I will try and get her. I'll try and get my other one too. They camp in Michigan, Upper Peninsula. This encounter took place in the area of Watersmeet, home of the famous Paulding Lights phenomena. Oddly enough, the Paulding Lights are also known as the Dog Meadow Lights. I was 13. I'd just got new rollerblades for Christmas, and since the main road where our property sits is paved, I couldn't wait to ride out. I went blading by myself and stopped to rest for a second. On this road, the woods are so thick that not much space between the road and the woods in most parts. And I remember seeing trees pushed down on the road like my dad had said it was done by bears. He was an avid bear hunter. I remember not hearing any normal sounds of nature, not even birds. The air was still, and the sky would be pure dark in not too long. I was deciding to turn back when I heard the rustling behind me, and something emerged from behind the left side of the road. I assumed it was a deer, and paused and made myself as quiet as I could so I could watch it. I slumped down on my stomach in the middle of the road. It was about 600 feet ahead of me. When I got settled onto the road to watch it and looked up, I realized I wasn't looking at a deer. It was on all fours with grey-brown fur. At first I feared the worst, thinking it was a bear that had caught my scent, until I saw its outline and colour. I thought I was looking at a dog until I realized its face was too primitive, like a coyote or a fox's. At this point in my life, I'd never seen a wolf in real life, and it was too far for me to make out its face exactly. The Michigan Department of Natural Resources has always recognized that wild wolves still roamed the Upper Peninsula, although they were thought to be very limited in numbers, and only in extremely remote areas. It is conceivable this witness was seeing one of these wolves, but then something very strange happened. It extended its front legs, and in the slowest, longest seconds of their life, stood on its hind legs, sniffed the air, walked about 5 steps, then got back down on all fours and walked to the other side of the woods, disappearing. I don't remember how long I lay there on that road, staring in the empty space. I saw this thing stand like a human. I remember my jaw hanging down as low as it could, and a pool of drool and cement under it. It finally clicked in my mind that perhaps I should rollerblade my butt back to camp as quick as I could. The witness reports that, while the creature never stalked or pursued her, she slept very little during the rest of the family camping trip. She never told anyone about what she had seen, fearing she would be ridiculed. At the time of the sighting, she never heard of the legend song and would not until 2014. She moved to Southern California in 2008 and has no interest in camping ever again. Curse damn keyboard. Alapina 2001. My dad and I have a story to tell about our encounters with the dogman. My dad's story took place in the mid-70s. There's a cemetery behind the Alapina High School and a wooded area behind that. There are many trails that run through here. And this area is called the Sandies, where all the young kids would go to party. My dad and 2 of his buddies were in a canoe in broad daylight paddling from the Sandies around the back of the cemetery. The banks of the river are 10 to 12 feet high in places, and some trails run right to the edges. The 3 of them saw what looked like a big dog running behind them on the trail. They didn't pay much attention to it until they heard a splash. When they looked, it was swimming after them. Then it went from a doggy paddle to a chest, and front legs come out of the water, and it was wading after them. They decided right then not to wait around to see what it was. Honestly, I thought it was bullshit at the time. And I'm still not sure even to this day if it was something they had been smoking or drinking. Then around 2001 to 2002, I was leading some friends through the sandy trails. I used to like taking people out there without a flashlight and telling them my dad's story to freak them out. The girls were freaked out before we even got into the woods, so I decided to scare them that night. I decided not to scare them that night. In the river were several islands connected by a small sliver of land. At the time, there were 3 such islands chained together, and I looked through them to the last one, which was planted with pines in nice even rows. I was the first one back there, and about 30 seconds ahead, when one of the girls got her foot hung up on something. As I was going back to help her, there was a spot where the trees make a sort of roof effect, which is cool looking at night, but with the moon shining through. At that point I saw something. Not sure what it was, but it sent me running double time. When my buddy saw my face, he didn't say a word. He just followed, both of us dragging the girls behind us. When he asked me later why I came out in such a hurry, I told him it was because I thought I had seen something on the other island, walking through the trees, that was very tall and not likely human. He may not have believed me, but he never questioned it either. I'm not sure what I saw. It could have easily been that I scared myself with my dad's story and was seeing things. But I know this. I still don't like the dark. And even though I love hunting, I hate going out before the sun comes up during deer season. Last one. I seem to be losing people, but it's fine. One more. And we done. Okay. Bendon, 2007. This sighting report is told second-hand by the brother-in-law of the witness. The witness is a prominent person in a local government and wishes to remain anonymous. The situation started last Saturday night around midnight when he was coming home from a friend's house in Benzonia and taking the back way home to Traverse City. He stated that whilst travelling down Cinder Road, several miles outside of town of Bendon, he observed a pair of eyes reflecting off his headlights ahead of him. Thinking that was probably a deer along the side of the road, he began to slow down. As he got closer, he stated that the object was much larger and much darker than a deer. He said that by this time he had slowed to around 30 miles an hour and was at the point of several hundred feet from the creature, which still hadn't moved. As he approached further, he stated that the only way he could describe the creature was being similar to a very large dark wolf. However, he observed that this thing wasn't on 4 legs, but was upright, his back 2 legs standing near a road-killed deer. He estimated the creature stood a little over 6 feet tall and had very dark fur. He stated that by now he was going slow enough to bring his truck to a stop in the road and observed the creature, which had not yet moved and was still staring at him. He told me for a brief second he believed the object was a giant stuffed animal, but there was some kind of stuffed animal put there as some kind of joke due to the fact that he had never seen anything like this in his life, and that he was able to drive up on it as close as he was without it moving an inch. As he told me, however, that before he could finish that thought, the creature dropped to all 4 legs and sprinted across the road and disappeared into the woods on the other side of the roadway. He told me that he stayed frozen in his seat for a minute, wondering in the middle of the road of what the heck had just happened. I jokingly asked him if he had been drinking that night with a deadly serious face. He stated no. Whatever that was, it was for real. As perplexed as he was that night over what he had seen, he was deathly afraid to go wandering into the woods to investigate further. He stated that in using a flashlight he observed an animal's tracks leading into the woods on the opposite side of the road, and was fortunate enough that night to have his digital camera with him. He showed me a photograph of the paw print, which, he said, appeared to be about 7 or 8 inches long. He has another picture of a paw print where he placed a shotgun shell in the middle of it for scale. He told me that he was lucky that the side of the road was so soft because he wasn't willing to go any farther than 2 or 3 steps away from the door of his truck to get a picture. I inquired if the animal had made any sounds before it disappeared. He said it did not, that he did not hear it make any noise, and were it not for the picture, he would have thought that he had imagined the whole thing. I asked him if he could have seen a bear, and he said, absolutely not. He bear hunts every year in the Upper Peninsula, so he obviously knows what a bear looks like. That's his story. Believe it if you like. If I didn't know him as well as I do, and hadn't seen the pictures, I would have said that he was out of his mind. I've heard the song, and you know some of the stories, but always believed it was just for entertainment value. After this happened, I'm looking at all of this under a whole new light. That's the story. Ignore these people saying something about my legs. I can walk. Look, I can stand. And it's not a miracle. Don't say it's a miracle, you cheeky bastards. There we go, it's a miracle. Yeah, fuck off. And yeah, this is real. Hey Scott, before you go, have you seen the updated Worgen models for WoW that they were getting sometime soon? They look great. No, I haven't actually. That's cool. I love the Worgens. How much money to take off my wig? I don't think any money could do that, brother. Right, I promised our last donator, Miss Abby Sue, I'd show us the cat before we left. I keep looking at the video of myself, expecting it to be the camera. Alright, where's my cat? Oh, that's... Fuck! Sorry to disturb you, baby. People want to see you. I'm looking at myself in the camera, I look weird. For the Lions, thank you, Mr. Extremes. $10. This makes Sooty very happy. She's very happy. By the way, guys, if you do not know Mr. Extremes, you should. He is a great narrator. Does what I do. Shouldn't be leaning like this in front of the camera. Please check him out. He does great stuff. We've worked together on a project before. So go check him out, and thank you very much for coming to the stream. Oh yeah, I promised I'd get the other cat as well. If she's here. This is our very regal cat. She has her own cushion, as you can see. Are you falling off there, girl? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, baby. There we go. There you go. You can see Her Majesty. She's a little overweight because she has had a thyroid removed, thus reducing the amount of hormones that help with weight reduction. Yes. But she's gorgeous, isn't she? I'll go put you back. Right. Where's Loki? In bed. Oh wait, in the grave he died. Spoilerinos. So the cat's on the house and Thor's playing. The cats kind of do rule the house, don't you? Oh, she came in once I gave her attention. How the heck are those dang cats so good looking? I don't know. Your arm very big, please. Oh, thank you very much. You want to see what arm can do? Watch this. Oh, I am amazing. Look at me. For the lions. That was stupid. I'm gonna watch that now. Let's see how stupid I look. I look like a monkey. Please mod me. I don't know if I can. How long are you working out? Or do you mean like how long have I been working out? How old am I? Well, I know how old I am. I'm just trying, like, when did I start? I think I was 14. Yeah, I think maybe I was 14, 13. So, 10, 11 years. How long did it take to get those abs? It took a few years. I'm so fat. Let's see. I'm not allowed to flash. Let's see. Yeah, baby, they show up. Tiny bit. Yeah, that's fine. It didn't take too long once I knew what I was actually doing. Balance your diet and do planks. Planks are fantastic for it. Do a mixture of things. Next time read Baba Yaga, a Russian witch. Yeah, I know of Baba Yaga. Just take the shirt off. No nudity. Not allowed on YouTube. Not even for the money. Yeah, it is. It's kind of torture to maintain abs. I do like 50 different exercises for them. The planks are the best one though, I think, for definition. Standard sit-ups are great. My friend Marcus swears by, what are those things called? Crunches. He swears by crunches. I don't really do them myself, but I can tell what he's on about. I've done some and they do feel like they're putting more strain, but I'm just going to stick with what works for me. Do you do body weight or just go to the gym? As you can see, my room is a gym. Half of my room is a gym. But I also do go to the actual gym because, not to brag, but my deadlifts, I've far exceeded what I have here. So I have to go there for them. And I did go there for some bench stuff because I reached 140 kilograms on my bench. But since I've been going there, they have them on bars. So like when you do the bench press, you're always safe because they're on these like bars that. Well, anyway, I think that was restricting my exercise because now I've gone back down to 130, which is not. Whenever I lose strength, I feel like shit. How much can I lift? Bench, my max 140. so far, kilograms. Deadlift 180 kilograms, but I think if I keep trying, within the next few months I can get to 200. If I get to 200, goddamn. They do not really have a regular bench. That's a good, well, this bench is shit, but the normal bench didn't cut it because I like the butterfly curl things. And this one carries a heavier weight. Still going. Yeah, I was supposed to be ending. Now I'm answering personal questions. That assisted shit, yeah, I'll agree. The assisted shit, I didn't even realize it was assisted. Well, it's not, see, it's not assisted. The one I'm talking about, it just makes it safe, but it's eliminate. How do I put this? Your stabilizing muscles are weakened from doing that, or mine were. So that was a bad idea. So I'm not going to do that at the gym anymore, because if I ever get to 180 kilogram bench press, then in here, then my bench can't handle it. So that's fine. That'll be many, many years if I ever reach that strength. Scott, I want to ask you a very... How can I become big man? Eat a lot, work out a lot, and sleep a lot. PM, there's a personal message? Oh yeah, here you go. Make him dance. There you go. Amazing. That's for you, Curtis, my friend. Yeah, I need some sleep. I'm being abused by my friends making silly jokes. Talking about the gym and not having one. I will not actually dance myself. I've already danced. I've done a Fortnite dance in the stream, so go sift through it to find that. I don't know what time. Oh, yes, sleeping will make you bigger. The more... Building muscle... exercise in general consisted of three major things: a good diet, good exercise, and good sleep. I am lacking the two last ones, mainly. I don't sleep very well sometimes, I get insomnia a lot. And my diet is okay, but not fantastic. I don't eat vegetables. But I'm still doing alright. Okay, I did the floss for money. Yep. And Marcus, I'm not coming in. I'll come in TeamSpeak before I go to bed, but not on this, because you're going to say some dumb shit. Okay, good night, everyone. Thank you very much. I'll keep everyone posted on Twitter when I finally do the tallying up of how much we made tonight. But thank you for coming out. This was awesome. I think we've raised a lot of good money for our pals at Safina Lion Conservation Fund. Why do it? I never learn. I want to say Wildlife Trust. Good night, everyone. Thank you very much. You're awesome, and I look forward to doing this again. Hopefully a lot sooner than what was in between last time I streamed.